Good afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I did not think that through. Welcome back to Movie Mornings. I am your host, Martino, and we're here for a very special Movie Mornings. We're going to be talking about the Oscars. This is the pre-show. I hope you're here watching with us, but there's a lot of other channels probably doing it too, so I understand if you're there. But if you are here, thank you very much for joining us. And I'm your host, Martino, once again, and we're just going to kind of run through the nominees, give our predictions, give who we would think deserves to win the categories and all that fun stuff. But before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit that bell for notifications. Also here with me today, we do have, of course, Mr. Jose Espinel. What's going on, Jose?
So, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to get into what we have for you guys in store today.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm stoked. And also, we have Miss Samee Ramirez. Samee, how's it going today?
Hello, I'm happy to be back. Happy to talk about the Oscars. Thank you for having me for this special episode. I've seen most of the things nominated. This is I was saying before, it's the first year that I've seen honestly 96 maybe percent of the films nominated in total of all categories.
Yeah.
So very excited to talk about it, and I loved most of them. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm stoked too. I'm stoked to hear everybody's opinions on the variety of movies that we have nominated this year for the variety of categories that we have. And, you know, it's funny, I could probably pay Samee $1 million. She wouldn't join for a Morbius review, but the Oscars, she's here for free. So yeah.
I don't even know if I'm going to see Morbius. So, but yes, Oscars, we're here.
Yeah, I love it. So great. All right, guys. So let's just kind of get right into it. So Samee is going to help us out today, which we appreciate. She has all the categories and nominees on her, or she's getting it ready, one of the two. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of get into this here. And so let's start, Samee. So let's start from the very bottom of the list, I guess. Not cool. With best, we'll say best picture for last, obviously. Yeah. You know the proper order for this. And Jose and I are also going to get a shot to change our predictions from earlier, folks. So this is going to be our last chance to do so. And I think I do have some changes I'm definitely going to want to make, but we'll see. Samee, I'm going to start with you. What's our first category?
Cool. We're just going to do from the order that I wrote them down in, which is kind of by importance, but I don't want to say that it's by least important to most important.
Yeah, fair. But you have the nominees, right?
Yes, I do. Okay, all right, but I have the official Oscar.com list, Oscar.org list.
That works.
Yep. So I'm going to start with documentary feature.
All right.
First. So it's Ascension, Attica. Oh, no, I'm looking at feature. I wanted to do short subject first.
Let's start with shorts. Documentary shorts.
We're doing shorts. Good. Yep, that's what I meant. Right. Okay, sorry. Shorts is Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 Songs for Benzier, and We Were Bullies. So I've seen 3. I've seen Audible, Lead Me Home, and The Queen of Basketball. And out of those 3, Audible is the one that I think is probably going to take it. It's also my favorite. It was such a great documentary. It's about, if you don't know, the Maryland School of the Deaf's championship winning high school football team. And it starts with their first loss in 16 years against another deaf school. And it follows the students of that team up until their homecoming. And it's a phenomenal short documentary film. It's the best of the 3, I think. I think The Queen of Basketball is also really good and could also win, but that's my take in that one. I don't know if you guys have seen any of those or know them.
No, so. having seen none of them. And I think Jose and I were both in agreement, though, that it was going to be the Queen of Basketball.
That's what. Yeah,
it could also be that. That one was very good as well.
Yeah, that's what we both said. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think personally, it's going to be Queen of Basketball. I'm going to stick with that position, Jose. Same. If you want to write that down for us,
okay.
You're sticking with your position. Yeah. Just it's not. It's not that I don't trust your opinion either, Samee. I think it's just mainly it's just kind of based around hype for me. In terms of the talk I've heard about Queen of Basketball. That's where I'm going to keep my position for now. But I am excited to watch Audible, so I appreciate your
on HBO Max, by the way.
All right, Audible. Yeah, great. All right, so I can't wait to watch it. But if you would be so kind, what is the next category?
So next we're going to do short film animated, which I've also seen 3 out of these. It's Affairs of the Art, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin, and The Windshield Wiper. So I think it's probably going to go to Robin, which is one of the ones I've seen.
Okay.
And it was cute. It was fine. It was very well animated. The story was kind of like whatever for me. Again, it was very much geared toward younger kids, the story, but the animation was very beautiful and deserving of an Oscar. But my choice would be The Windshield Wiper. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
I also saw Affairs of the Art. The Windshield Wiper is on YouTube, and it is one of the best short films I've ever seen. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, excuse me, and phenomenal, and I'd recommend it to every single person I've ever met in my life.
Jose,
so I hope it wins.
I was gonna say I said The Windshield Wiper. That's the one I said.
Right, Jose,
it's phenomenal. It's so good.
We were both with Windshield Wiper, but the more I get into this, and the more I start to hear about Robin, I'm also going to change my prediction to Robin. Like, granted,
I think that will win.
Haven't seen any of these. Right,
neither.
I'm gonna change my position to Robin though. I don't know, Jose, where are you at? Do you want to change your position, or do you think it might still be Windshield Wiper? Or
I'm gonna just stick with Windshield Wiper.
All right, sounds good.
Only just because of the title, like
the title's amazing. I want to see it.
It was so good.
It's just
it's on Windshield Wiper is also currently on YouTube. That's how I watched it.
Right on. Okay.
Cool.
So is Affairs of the Art as well, which was also very good. But it was so good. It literally, I didn't know anything about it. I was just like, oh, okay, Oscar nominated. I didn't know anything about any of these.
Is it literally about a windshield wiper? Is that like
no? Actually,
really?
It's not.
I pictured like a talking windshield wiper. Like if your windshield wiper could come to life, this would be its feelings.
It's about. I mean, it's very hard to say what it's about. It's about love. That's what I'll say.
Fair enough.
But like, don't think about it too hard. But like that. But then when you watch it, you'll be like, yeah, it was about love. That's what I can say about it.
Jose, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say that just from the title, I just figured that it would be like the life of a windshield wiper.
Right, yeah, that was my thinking.
Like what a windshield wiper goes
That was
through
absolutely my thinking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is a reason why I kind of voted on windshield wiper, because I feel like that would be a pretty cool concept.
It's a cool concept. If somebody wants to make that,
write it. You write it.
A life in the day of a windshield wiper.
Oh my God, Jose, we got it. Well, we got to come up with a new title. That's our film. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Make it whatever his name is. Like, you know what I mean? Seamus. I don't know the first word that popped in my mind.
Seamus is good. That's a good name.
Seamus the windshield wiper.
A day in the life of Seamus.
Seamus, yeah.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Like that.
There you go.
All right.
I'd watch it. That's great. Because I also thought it was going to be about a windshield wiper, but it was not.
Your Rochovitz, that's another good name for a windshield wiper, I would say.
That's a very out there name.
I like it. I'll take it.
That's an out there name. I like it.
All right, Samee, what do we got?
So the last of the shorts is the short film live action. I can't pronounce the first part of it, but it's Take and Run is the second part of it, which is I was calling it Take and Run. And then The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and Please Hold. So I've seen the last three, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and Please Hold. And they were all genuinely very, very good. I really loved all of them. Please Hold is like the one I'd probably recommend to you guys the best. It's on HBO Max as well. And it's literally, it's like a Black Mirror episode is how I kind of looked at it. But it was so weird and so wonderful. And I feel like you guys would like it. It's very, very good. So it's about a guy who gets arrested and he doesn't know why he's being arrested.
Who do you
but like Black Mirror.
Who do you think's gonna take it though?
But I think The Long Goodbye is gonna take it. The Long Goodbye is also on YouTube. It's on Riz Ahmed because he's a producer in it and he stars in it. It's on his YouTube channel on YouTube.
Okay.
It's only like 10 minutes long too, so I highly recommend it. I would also like take a breath before you. I don't want to, because I didn't know anything about it. This is one where I don't want to tell you anything about it. Just watch it because that is the way they intended it to happen. For you to not know anything.
Sorry,
but like take it. Make sure you're like chill before you watch it. Don't be like. Make sure you have no anxiety.
I got
then watch it.
Wires crossed here. So you're saying watch. Please Hold. You'd recommend, right? And then Long Goodbye is the one you think is going to win. Okay,
correct. But I would also highly recommend The Long Goodbye. Look, it was very, very good.
I'll genuinely put my faith in that. Like, Riz Ahmed. So I would say Long Goodbye is probably definitely going to take it just because of the involvement of Riz Ahmed. Yeah. And
when you watch it, it's kind of like, what, I'm gonna vote against it, you know what I mean? Like the other two that I watched were very, very great, but it's kind of, I don't know, I don't want to just compare it to anything that's gonna kind of spoil what it's about, but it's very much like, it's very topical of this time, and it's very relatable, not relatable personally, but like it's a subject that's on a lot of people's minds. So when you see it in front of your eyes, you remember and you vote for it.
Sure.
So I think it's gonna win.
Jose, what did we have?
But it was very good.
Do you remember what we had?
I mean, we didn't write it down.
We didn't write that one down. Okay. I'm gonna say Long Goodbye if you want to write.
I was gonna
say
I'll you know I'll
go with it.
I wrote it for both of us. I mean, honestly, like
great.
From what Samee has said, I feel like I trust her, and I feel like it's
yeah.
So.
I'll take it. Samee, what do we got next?
Next we're gonna do visual effects, which
here we go.
We got Dune, Free Guy.
Yep, Dune.
I know, Dune for me too.
No, sorry, keep reading. I don't want to disrespect
honestly,
the other nominations.
But it's Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man: No Way Home.
It's no
so
question.
Obviously,
I see. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Dune.
It's Dune.
There's no question about it. Yeah. There's no. Let's not beat around the bush here. It's Dune. I mean, the visual effects in Dune is just.
This is also. I have not seen two of these. I still haven't seen No Time to Die or Free Guy. I know.
Yeah. Well, Samee, let me ask you. Well, you should watch them both. They're both great.
Sorry, Jose's jaw is on the floor.
They're both great. They're both great. But
my goodness, yeah, they're both amazing films. Like, I mean,
I know. I want to watch them. I know.
Honestly, Free Guy is like Ryan Reynolds.
That movie's awesome. It was such a surprise. It was so good. It's so good.
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny is I told Dom we should put Free Guy on the list of nominees for movies, and he said, "Nah, it's not gonna get anything."
And it got nominated.
I didn't think it would. As much as I love it, I didn't think it would. It just I'm happy for it, but. Look, what do you think, Samee, would be the upset in this category, though? If it's not Dune, and I think it's gonna be, Dune's gonna take it.
I've got one in mind.
I also did Doctor Strange win Best Visual Effects? Do we remember? Can someone look that up real quick?
Yeah, here,
because I feel like, because I mean, if it did, then because I mean, the Spider-Man effects were really great, and comparatively you could compare them to Doctor Strange's effects. Like they weren't as intense as they were, but
they were good.
But Shang-Chi also, though,
I was gonna say
those were pretty great. I mean, infamously I did not love Shang-Chi, but the visual effects, undeniable.
I think Shang-Chi would be the upset here.
That's
I would honestly put Shang-Chi over Spider-Man, actually. The more I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, my vote, if Dune wasn't to win, it would be Shang-Chi. I think Dune's gonna win, but
Dune's
gonna win. I think it's gonna be Shang-Chi. Yeah,
Dune's gonna win. Make no mistake about it. I think Dune is.
But Marvel got a lot of money. They schmooze very well at these luncheons.
Yeah,
they schmooze very well.
Yes, that's true. They do know how to schmooze, and
Dune's honestly, I think, gonna walk away very happy with a lot of things. So it's gonna
sweep this year. It's gonna sweep. I mean,
I have it for a lot. I have it winning a lot.
Me too. I think it's gonna sweep, but I would say this: like, I could see Shang-Chi maybe taking this one, so it walks away with something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could see.
And it's the Marvel of it all.
Yeah, because Dune has so many nominations that I mean, if Dune wasn't to win one, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Shang-Chi won this one.
So are we all in agreement on Dune then? You think think that's the one that's going to take it? Okay.
So Doctor Strange did not win.
Was it nominated?
It was nominated.
Okay,
of course it was. It has to be. That movie is,
because that was
to me that is like visually amazing, even compared to Spider-Man. Yeah.
Guess what won visual effects that year?
What was it?
What year was it?
2017.
Fantastic Beasts. Obviously. That's my guess.
No, it was not. It didn't even get nominated.
Fantastic Beasts didn't get nominated? I think visually it probably should have, but yeah.
It didn't though.
Do you know what the nominees were?
Yeah, so we got Kubo and the Two Strings, Doctor Strange, Deepwater Horizon, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and The Jungle Book.
It was Rogue One.
Jungle Book won.
It was The Jungle Book.
It was Jungle Book.
That sounds right.
Okay. Oh, that's Jungle right. Book. I remember being a little upset that Rogue One didn't take it that year. It was like, God damn it.
I was going to say Rogue One until you said The Jungle Book, and then I was like, oh, wait, no way. They totally gave it to The Jungle Book.
Although Jungle Book was very deserving that year. Like, it was
all visual effects.
Movie. Right. The whole thing was visual.
Oh, yeah. It was,
except for Mowgli, like, everything else was, so
exactly.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, you got it written then for Dune.
I mean, we both wrote down Dune originally.
So not going to change my position.
Nothing's changed. No. Yeah, neither.
Yeah. All right, Samee, what's next?
All right. Next up, we got Sound, which nominees are Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Once again, I think this is Dune. Dune's going to take this one as well. That Sound. A+, man. I saw that in IMAX. I saw it on HBO Max first, and then I saw it a second time. I paid a second time to watch it in theaters on IMAX because I knew like it was going to be that good, and the sound was a part of that choice, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I did it the other way around. I watched it first in IMAX in theaters, and then watched it like 2 or 3 times again on HBO Max when I got home. And oh my goodness gracious, the sound in IMAX in theaters with Dune was
phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's
Jose, sound. Remind me what we had predicted.
We both wrote Dune.
I'm changing my position.
Really?
Ooh,
I think it's going to be No Time to Die.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what. I think that Dune has achieved so much, like in so many ways. You know, for it really has. There is something about I'll never forget watching, and I know you haven't seen it yet, Samee, but like I'll never forget like watching No Time to Die. And there's something to the way that the gunshots sound that I was like in awe of, and I've never forgotten it since. There's something about that.
Yeah,
like,
well, like the sound like the car that he's in with his girlfriend, wife.
That one was amazing too.
With his car.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious!
There is something to the sound
crazy.
there. I am honestly going to pick No Time to Die. For some reason, the sound of that movie has been unforgettable to me.
I mean, I'm gonna stay with Dune.
That's fine. I understand. It's probably the safer bet.
And if No Time to Die wins, I wouldn't be upset with that because, like you said, the sound in No Time to Die with the gunshots, all the bullets flying, and all that other, like the explosions in this movie too. Like the sound in this film was really good too.
I remember
I wouldn't be mad
when we were doing the show last time with our predictions. I remember saying Dune and even being hesitant. Like for some reason, I kept going back to No Time to Die. I think it's going to be No Time to Die. I really do.
And again, like I said, I wouldn't be mad. I mean, it's Daniel Craig's best Bond. I mean, this movie was phenomenal. I see myself revisiting this movie plenty of times. So
I think it's going to be.
I wouldn't be mad. I mean, Dune's nominated for what, like 8 Oscars. So
yeah, it's got a lot of chances to win stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be mad if any other movies won any of these other nominations.
I just have a feeling that in the sound department,
look, and your feeling might be right. I mean,
I have a gut feeling. I'm gonna go with it. Samee, what's next?
All right, next up we got production design, which again, Dune, and then Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story.
What did we have?
Again,
Jose? Go ahead, Samee. Sorry.
I also have I have Dune for this one as well.
Okay.
But these are all very good. Like this is very hard to pick one because I love the production design in all 5 of these movies. Like, I mean, Nightmare Alley, fantastic. The Tragedy of Macbeth, fantastic. Dune, obviously, was fantastic. That's probably the top 3.
There is something to the production design. Now, one of the things I would say about Dune here, and you guys might agree, is the fact that I think a lot of Dune was done on location. I think there's a pretty good portion of it, and I might be wrong, which when you look at it from that angle, you're kind of looking at the production design and saying, at least in my opinion, you're kind of looking at the production design and saying like, well, how much production had to be designed? Not that there's not great production design, and not that Dune can't win this category, because there's obviously it achieves a lot in this particular department, but I actually am going to go with Nightmare Alley on this. I think Nightmare Alley, when you're thinking production design, you think about the carnival and all that. Like, you know, there's a lot going on.
It was fantastic.
It's a busy movie when it comes to production design, and it all looks phenomenal.
And it was most on sets. Like, I'm trying to think, and I'm like, a lot of it that was built. Like, there's no way.
Right.
They didn't have to design that entirely.
So Dom, you're changing then, because you originally had West Side Story.
I don't know. Give me a second.
Interesting. Yeah.
I have West Side Story. See, that's an
West Side Story. I feel
I
feel similarly about Dune as I feel about West Side Story, where I feel like a lot of it is just like the production design was like New York. You know what I mean? Like, look how beautiful dirty New York is, which it is. Like, that's not. I mean that in a bad way at all, because it was fantastic. But I feel also like a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, New York's pretty, but you know what else is really pretty? A carnival that someone invented, or, you know, this version of the Old West, and
you know what,
Power of the Dog, even, you know.
You're right.
Yeah.
I might have to switch to Nightmare. I haven't seen Nightmare Alley, I haven't started it, but from what you guys are saying, it sounds like
I
was
think
more
it's going to be
productive.
Nightmare
Mine
Alley.
and
I'm going to
Nightmare
change
Alley.
my position.
I'll-
It
You
has
know, I'll-
Nightmare Alley has more sets. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
dressed sets.
I'll change mine too then to Nightmare Alley just because
Yeah.
Fair enough.
from the sounds of it, it's gonna be.
I'm still gonna go Dune though. I still think
Sammy's
I might
still
give it
going
to
Dune. Change us to Nightmare
Yeah.
Alley then.
Yeah, I got you.
Because all right, Samee. What's next?
All right, next is a very exciting one.
Ooh.
For me personally, it is music, best original song.
Ooh.
So the nominees are Be Alive from King Richard, Dos Oruguitas from Encanto, Down to Joy from Belfast, No Time to Die from No Time to Die, and Somehow You Do from Four Good Days. I have not seen Four Good Days, and
Neither.
I've not heard that song, but I know the rest of them.
Yeah,
So this one, I think, also my personal preference is Dos Oruguitas from Encanto. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. It's one of I love Encanto so much, but also this will make Lin-Manuel Miranda an EGOT. And I want to see that with my eyes.
Who won't be going this year,
So-
unfortunately, to accept his wife has COVID, so he's got to stay home.
Is it really? Was
Yeah.
that announced?
Mhm.
I have not heard that.
Yeah, he's not going, unfortunately. His wife did
I
come
believe
down
you,
with
but I have not
COVID,
heard
and yeah, I mean, best of luck to them. I mean, yeah, I understand him not going for sure.
However, he'll still be an EGOT. Which
I
will still be
think,
super cool.
yeah, I'm gonna stick with Samee, and I think that was our original position, or my original position.
That was yours, and you know what? I'm changing now.
You think it's gonna
because-
be Dos
well,
Oruguitas?
so
Yeah.
that's
I
the thing.
also think though. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so I was gonna say, because I've gone and watched Encanto. I mean, Encanto's probably my favorite Disney animated film to this day, from the newer ones at least. And I've seen it already like 3 times through, and every time I watch it, I love the soundtrack more and more. Where I wish it was the Colombia Encanto one from Carlos Vives. I wish it was that song. Dos Oruguitas, still, like, the message that song has is phenomenal, and I think that song is gonna win. I think it's gonna win best original song for sure, especially just because of Lin-Manuel Miranda and his crew. Like, they went to Colombia to like study for this movie. Like, they went and lived in Colombia to make this movie, and so the fact that they did that makes this movie even that much better. So yeah. I think Dos Oruguitas is gonna win for sure.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Jose. I'm gonna keep my position on that. And I haven't seen Encanto entirely. I've started. That's another one.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I know, but I have heard the soundtrack, and I love the soundtrack. And I can tell you for a fact, I think that song is gonna win.
100%, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Also having, I mean, again, I haven't heard the one from Four Good Days, but also having heard the rest of the songs, like, it's Dos Oruguitas.
They don't compare. I mean,
they don't compare. I'm sorry, Billy and Phineas. I love you, but I'm sorry.
I think that song, if any of them is closest, is probably that one.
I was gonna say,
I would agree. That's the second.
I think No Time to Die is the upset. Like, I don't want to. Yeah, for sure.
If Dos Oruguitas doesn't win, I think the
No Time to Die.
Yeah,
it's the upset for sure.
Because having heard the one in Belfast and King Richard, I mean, don't get me wrong, King Richard is a great film, but that song, I mean, compared to
it's great without the song, you know what I mean? But like, as opposed to like, you look at Encanto and No Time to Die, like that music from No Time to Die is playing throughout the movie. Like, they incorporate it into the score. It is part of what elevates it so much. And then the same with Encanto just being a musical. Obviously, you need a song like that.
It's the importance of that song too. That, like,
I was gonna say
the song in the movie is what unlocks the movie. Honestly, like, after that song plays, that's when the light switch happens in your brain.
Exactly.
That song was perfectly placed in this movie. That the impact it has throughout the rest of the movie, and to you personally as a person, just was so impactful that, I mean, the song is just on so many different levels compared to all these other ones.
I mean, only if you're Latino to have that. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Wow.
White man over
here.
Put
the subtitles on.
I'm kidding. I'm
subtitles.
Joking. It's a great song.
They're in English. Fun fact, because I watch a lot of things on subtitles, and the first time I saw Encanto, it was on my phone on Disney Plus on watching subtitles.
Yeah.
And Dos Oruguitos was in English. Fun fact.
They do have subtitles. I was just saying, Apple Music.
Just like regularly.
I was gonna say on Apple Music and the soundtrack album for Encanto, they have it in English and in Spanish.
They do have the English version as well.
And I was actually gonna ask you. So you've seen it? Have you seen it in both English and Spanish? The movie?
I haven't, no, because I don't speak Spanish. I don't know Spanish.
Okay, because
so
I've seen
I
it.
have
So
not...
I've seen it in English and in Spanish, and
Nice.
I'm gonna just say that in English is a lot better, honestly.
Okay.
Like, watch it like
the voices and stuff. You mean?
Yeah. Because watching in Spanish just doesn't. I think because this is the first time I watched it. It was in English, so it doesn't hit the same in Spanish.
I will say randomly the other day I was just like, I turned on the TV and HBO Latino was on. And West Side Story was playing, and it was the part where like Tony and Maria first meet under the bleachers. And again, it was the voiceover, and I was like, huh, not as good.
Yeah.
Not as good with these. I don't know what it's like. The voices are not as good. Yeah. It really brought it down for me.
Which is kind of weird because Encanto is based in Colombia, and it's a Colombian family, so you would expect it to be better in Spanish. Which I mean, probably for people in Colombia, it's better in Spanish for them, but for me, I don't know. It just this and the songs too in Spanish, they don't hit. Except for Dos Oruguitas and Colombia Me Encanto. Those are the only two songs that in Spanish are better than the English versions of the other ones, like Surface Pressure and Familia Madrigal. Like those the
ones, because those were like they made the movie in English, you know what I mean, and all the rest of it is like literally an extra like dub, like a and special add-on that was not intended to fit with the original thing.
So having seen them in both English and Spanish, I can say at least personally English was better. So, but yeah.
Nice.
What's next?
All right, next we got music original score. So we got Don't Look Up, Nicholas Britell. I feel like that's right. Dune, Hans Zimmer. Encanto, Jermaine Franco. Parallel Mothers, Alberto Iglesias. And The Power of the Dog by Johnny Gerwood. I feel like it's gonna be Dune, but again, I wish it was Encanto. But I think it is gonna be Dune because that was a very good score. And I think I haven't seen Parallel Mothers, but out of the rest of them, the one that I remembered the most was definitely Dune. And the one that I think was the most like inventive and a part of the score and helped tell the story the best was also Dune. But also Encanto, like, so it's hard.
I'm going to say this one's Dune. 100%.
I do also think it's Dune.
That's what you had originally,
I'm gonna keep my position.
And it's Hans Zimmer. Who doesn't love Hans Zimmer? Yeah. Like,
it's gonna be Dune. I can almost guarantee it. I'm gonna keep my position on that. I don't know your house.
And I had Encanto, but now that I really think about it, I'm gonna change it to Dune because if I'm being honest, when I started reading the Dune book, I would put my headphones in and listen to the score, while reading the book, and so I was able to like imagine the movie while reading the book. So I'm gonna change to Dune. Although I wish Encanto would win, I think it's gonna be Dune, honestly, because I mean, the score of Dune is just, I mean, Hans Zimmer just,
it's iconic. Like, it's so good.
I mean, he absolutely killed it. He made a very iconic score with this movie.
So it became iconic the moment like it was in the trailer.
100%, yeah.
It was iconic.
Sammy, you're going.
And it just kept getting better.
You're going with Dune, or
I'm going with Dune.
Dune. Okay, all three of us for Dune there, Jose.
I mean, I got you. I just, although I wish it would be Encanto, I think it's going to be Dune.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What do we got next?
Next, we're going to do makeup and hairstyling.
Here we go.
And we got Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. I'm going with The Eyes of Tammy Faye because I don't want to spoil a later pick. But I think the makeup and hairstyling is really a huge part of the movie and why a lot of people loved it.
I think I know where you're going, but with that, I think I know exactly where you're going. But
yeah, I do. You definitely do.
Jose, I think I'm going to keep my position. I'm going to say it's Cruella. I think it's Cruella.
I wouldn't be mad. It probably should be Cruella, honestly.
And I actually wanted to say,
wouldn't be mad about it.
I started watching In the Eyes of Tammy Faye. I'm not gonna lie, I stopped almost midway through because I was getting kind of bored.
And I'm hearing
I really liked it. I really liked The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
I'm hearing from a lot of people.
I had a very, not that I like a personal connection to it, but I related to it in a very specific way. Like, I grew up in like a Southern Baptist, Christian church, and like I know these people 100%.
That's so not you now.
Every single but that's how my middle school life, like up until middle school, that was the people I was surrounded by. Not like super rich on that high level, but like those people who held those same beliefs. I know them.
I haven't seen it.
They're real.
But I'm hearing from a lot of people, the movie's not good. The performances are great. That's what the consensus has been from most people.
I liked it, but again, I had I related to it.
I don't know
a little
though.
bit.
Again, I haven't seen it, so I would have to see it. I want to see it. Obviously, it's Andrew Garfield, Jessica Chastain. I want to see this movie. I also wanted to see 355 because of Jessica Chastain, and look how that went.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I hear it's
bad. Yeah, it looked bad.
I hear it's not good. From everybody, but I don't know, Jose. What do you got? I'm gonna stick with. We said Cruella.
No,
right?
I'm gonna stick with Cruella. Honestly, the makeup and
I think so.
Oh my goodness gracious! Like what they did with Emily Blunt Emma Stone. In that. Yeah. That's what Emma Stone. Yeah, it was incredible. Some incredible
like Stoner
stuff,
Thompson. There were two Emmas.
I'm gonna stick with Cruella. Honestly.
Yeah.
I've revisited that movie so many times now.
I brought you up the other day, Sammy, because I was talking about our Cruella discussion, how that was like one of my favorite discussions we've ever done on this channel, because
that was an early one.
Yeah, it was, but you know what it was? It was the fact that we had such differing opinions, but they like both came from a place of passion, and like the way that we bounced off each other, I just thought was great. It's one of the ones I go back and re-listen to. It's like I was telling Jose about that the other day. I don't remember how it came up though, at the show. Oh, he's changing. Jose's changing his underpants, so yeah, we're going to.
I couldn't believe.
What'd you say?
What were you doing?
I was grabbing drinks. Sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
No, I saw him doing it. And I was like, "You're really gonna show him? You're gonna expose him like that?"
Wait, what did you say, Dom? Sorry.
I didn't know he was doing that. No, I was saying I don't remember how it came up, but I brought up that discussion between.
No, so yeah, we were doing a movie. It was you and I were doing a movie mornings,
right?
Oscars top 10, and
that's what it was.
We both had Cruella in our top 10, and that's when you brought up the review. That
it's top 10 movies of 2021. I think Cruella was an honorable mention for me, and it was like.
Well, yeah, and then it was in my top. It was my number 10, and
right.
so that's how you brought up the review that you and Sammy did, and
I
stole that review too, and it was a great review. I actually really enjoyed.
I will say, in retrospect, like having had time passed, I do like remember Cruella fondly, like because I didn't love it when I watched it, but like when I remember it, I'm like, oh yeah.
But you had
like the parts that I liked, I remember quite fondly, and the parts that I didn't like have like kind of faded from my memory. But the parts that were good have stuck.
You had such good reasons for it, though. That was the thing. That's why I loved about the discussion. Is like I felt like
such a Disney.
It's all right.
Gatekeep.
I said as much when we were talking about it.
I hate everything.
I said as much when I was talking to Jose. I was like, she was coming. I was coming from a place of passion for Cruella the movie, and then you were coming from it for a place of passion for the 101 Dalmatians IP, and like I just thought it just meshed for a conversation really well to like bounce off each other with differing opinions, and like we just were both understood. It was one of those best shows we've ever done, just because it, like the groove of it was great. But anyway, I think
about the new Little Mermaid every day of my life. That's gonna be the Lord is gonna test me, and by the Lord I mean Walt Disney, the ghost of Walt Disney himself is testing me, and that's gonna be a moment in time.
What's up?
No, so I was gonna say I'm not holding very high hopes for that, if I'm being honest.
I want it to be good, and I have no hope. I also don't have high hopes, but I want it to be good. Same with this Rachel Zegler Snow White movie.
I was going to ask you, has your opinion changed, though, on her casting at all? Because I think it's perfect now that I've seen her.
Oh, no, I've always liked her casting. I've always liked that. It was good. I always liked it, I just don't know if, like, the story is going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be told well.
The Little Mermaid,
I think she might be good, but
I think she's going to be great.
Very similar to like Aladdin, where you know what I mean, like where that Aladdin and Jasmine actors were very good, but like the movie.
Personally, I think I'm gonna love Little Mermaid though because of Rob Marshall's directing, and like
Rob Marshall can be hit or miss for me, man.
I loved Mary Poppins. Like I did. I thought it was great. I love what he did there.
I didn't love Mary Poppins, but I really liked it.
I loved it.
Are you talking about the newest one?
Mary Poppins Returns was
fantastic.
Oh, the original Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews, most iconic.
I still haven't seen Mary Poppins Returns.
You should. I think you'd like it.
It's worth watching. I
really do. I thought Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda did great in that movie. They were fantastic together.
Lin-Manuel's in that?
He's Dick Van Dyke. Yeah, he's the Dick Van Dyke character.
He's the Bert-ish character,
and he's great. And so was she. Anyway. Sorry, sidetracked.
So I was gonna say, like, as a Disney classic head, I really want the Little Mermaid, live action.
I think it'll be good. I trust Rob Marshall because
I thought the Beauty and the Beast remake was gonna be the most incredible thing ever, and then I was so disappointed by it. So he left a sour taste in my mouth.
I know people.
Compared to most of the live actions that they've done, Beauty and the Beast is up there with one of the best. Honestly, if you really,
I think it's fine.
You look at
it does what it needed to do.
You look at the Dumbo movie, trash.
Well, yeah, trash.
Mulan,
the Lion King, trash.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Mulan, kind of trash. There are some redeeming qualities.
I mean, Aladdin.
I like Mulan.
Aladdin for the most part, trash.
Exactly.
For
so
me.
I love Aladdin.
For the most part, I would never want. I would never want to watch
know,
Aladdin again. There's no part of me that ever wants to see it again.
I know a lot of people have trouble
like
with it. Where I liked it a lot. I mean, like, for example, like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Well, I guess Jungle Book was all right.
Jungle Book was all right. Cinderella, I also like too.
And then Cruella. I mean, when you
Maleficent,
really think about it,
I didn't hate.
When you really think about it, compared to most of the Disney live actions, Beauty and the Beast like is up there with one of the best. I've seen it like 6 times already.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite Disney live action remakes of all the ones that have been made. So
Sammy's on the show when we're talking about Disney for 15 minutes straight. It's
true. That's true.
No, I was gonna say I know a lot of people are bitching about the Melissa McCarthy casting in Little Mermaid, but I think she's a good actress. I'm like, go ahead.
It's not that she's a bad actress. It's that I think the role should have either been given to a drag queen or a woman of color.
I think it'll be good.
That's my opinion. Like, it's not that it's her. It's that it should have been someone else.
Sure, but I would say this though, which on the flip side of that, then we'll get right back into the Oscars. I'm just going to make my last point here. But on the flip side of that, I would say, if you do that, then it's less of a stretch for an actress in this case to, you know what I'm saying? It's less of a feat. So like if Melissa McCarthy can dive into the role and do that stretch, then you have a really amazing performance on your hands. You know what I'm saying?
That's for Ursula, I don't want to drag this for too long, but for Ursula though, I want power. I want extreme, like, I want Ursula to sing Poor Unfortunate Souls and for there to be zero doubt that like she is in control. This is her moment.
Yeah,
this is like she's so powerful, it's overwhelming. Because like that's how I felt watching Ursula as a kid, that like she was so overpowering in her 100%. Power, and it was beautiful. I loved it, but also scary. I just feel like most drag queen performers and a lot of also women of color, like
I get it.
They have that. They don't have to dive deep to get it. They're just gonna turn out.
I would just say let's wait and see what she does. That's all. I get it. I get
Melissa McCarthy.
I could be wrong. If she finds that within her,
she might surprise us.
When she gets in the right role, she is great. Like, can you ever forgive me? Oh my God. Like, wow, she was amazing in that.
No, that's for sure.
And like, I think you give her the right script, right role, she can knock it out of the park. So I'm gonna say let's wait and see. Let's wait and see.
Yeah. I feel like it's just gonna be very. You know how Meryl Streep was in Into the Woods as the witch?
Yeah.
I feel like it's literally gonna be a carbon copy. Yeah. That's my anticipation, and I don't want that.
Not one of the best parts Ursula. Of that movie. For sure.
Yeah. That's the best way I can describe in my brain of like how I am anticipating her performance to be.
It's fair. I think it's a fair stance. I'm just saying, I think that she's surprised us in the past. I think she can do it again, and I think that's where I'm at. Back to the Oscars.
We'll see. Back to the Oscars.
Let's go.
We're gonna do international feature film. So we have Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Luna, Lunana, I think, the yak in the classroom, and The Worst Person in the World. So I've seen Drive My Car, Flee, and The Worst Person in the World. And honestly, Flee was probably my favorite out of those, but Drive My Car is gonna win. It's nominated for Best Picture, Best Director. There's no way they don't win this category.
I was looking at this, and I think my stance, Jose, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was that it had to be Drive My Car because it's the only one of them that got the Best Picture nomination.
That's where
it has to be, honestly.
We both wrote Drive My Car.
Which is usually the case in this category when it comes down to it. Like, there's one that's Best Picture, and it's like, obviously that's the one. But I will say Flee, with the fact that it's also nominated for Best Animated Feature, kind of gives it a little bit of edge. You don't think it's going to win animated?
It's going to win animated.
I don't think so either. That's my point. So what I'm saying is, but it's clearly praised as a film in general.
But I also don't think, spoiler, that Drive My Car is going to win Best Picture or Best Director.
No.
I mean, neither of us think that either.
So, I think they're still going to want to honor it, and it will be here over Flee.
So,
I think.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You stay with my drop. You staying with Drive My Car for this?
I'm
category?
changing my position to Flee.
Okay.
All right. We will see. There could be an upset. This would be the biggest upset of the night if Drive My Car did not win.
I'm gonna stay with Drive My Car for sure.
Bold.
I mean, just from what I've seen with Drive My Car so far, I mean,
sure.
It's
and I agree, man.
It is a very interesting film. Like, again, it took me like 3 days to watch it, like 3 different sittings. It was a lot. I went through a lot of feelings. I turned it off. I wanted to turn it off multiple times, but I kept watching it. But then at the end, I was so happy I watched it because it was, again, very frustrating, but also very complex and very not for the faint of heart. Like, you really gotta if you don't love cinema, it's kind of weird looking at it.
There's a lot of good sexy time going on in that movie.
Oh, 100%.
There is.
Yeah.
But again, I because there was a lot of it, I was like, okay, but what the fuck is the point of this though? Why is she naked right now? Because again, like, I'll watch your sex scene written by a man, but like, what's the point? Give me a good point. And again, by the end of the movie, he had given me a very good point.
Okay.
So.
Well, I would at least
I felt at least.
Now,
like
having not finished the movie, I would at least say this though, because in the middle of the scene, we're kind of getting a lot more of a sense of the character too, I think, throughout that, because and just her position and her attitude. And it's kind of actually quick spoilers for Drive My Car, at least to the point that I'd seen, and you might have a different take having finished it, but like I would say, like, after the scene like happens, like she goes pretty quickly after that, you know, because and I think that it's kind of that juxtaposition between the two things. And so for me, that's what had me enamored about it, not just like, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like a sex scene to have a sex scene. Like, it felt like we were kind of developing the character throughout it. And then also to like have her go like quickly after, I thought was a pretty bold choice. And it did have an effect on me. It kind of kept me going throughout the movie after that, you know, because now I'm going to finish the movie. Yeah, obviously I'm like right where the opening credits started, but now I got to keep going. But like, I'm saying you might have a different take, but yeah, having finished.
Well, I also think, again, a part of the other thing, which also small spoiler alert for Drive My Car, but the opening credits happen like 45 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of the movie.
So I think a part of that is also, it's part of the kind of not shock factor, I want to say, because that's not like the connotation I mean, but that kind of like
boldness,
the deep boldness and complexity that I think the movie is aiming for, that at least I felt like that the writer and director were trying to, what I feel like his intent was to like make something really that it was uncomfortable to sit through, but was going to be worth it because it's about the complexities of life and people looking at harsh realities. So it forces you to look at their harsh reality. It was kind of more about that. Like, as the movie wrapped up, and the point of the movie set in, I was like, oh, well, it's kind of more like, not just that it was for the shock value, but it was for shock value in a good way because it was doing a good thing with it.
I compared it
already back to the story.
Right. I compared it to Godfather because the reason I liked it is because in Godfather, I don't know. I don't think you've still seen Godfather, have you?
I have. Okay. I've seen chunks.
50th anniversary just came about on my birthday, so it's time to watch it.
I know they're gonna do a thing.
It's 4K. It's back in theaters.
Oscars.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna do a thing on the Oscars. Great. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna do like a 50th celebration.
I'm gonna love that. What happened?
Oh, whoa. What? Sorry. Oh. I'm back.
Sammy's Jose. I can fix this really easily, folks. I think. All right, we back?
What just happened?
Are we good?
No.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, there we
go.
So,
anyway, where's everybody?
What is going on?
Oh, I know what happened. Okay, hang on. Okay, there we go. should be coming back here.
Nope. Oh,
no. Oh, that's not good.
Nope.
Look, anyway, I compared it while I'm fixing this. I compared it to Godfather in a way, to where like you go through the first 40 minutes of Godfather, spending the time at the wedding and building the characters out, to where like the movie Godfather really starts at when the horse head hits the bed. So you start your movie really when the most intriguing thing happens, which is what's going to keep me, you know, kind of coming back to that in a way.
And and it's almost like, because it is a very much, I give a lot of the credit to the writer. Oh, is my camera still up?
You're okay. I'm working on it.
But I give a lot of credit to the end that I'm not going to pronounce his name right because it's a Japanese name, and I'm just genuinely a horrible person, and I don't know how to pronounce it. But the writer director, like, I really just credit him for it, because it would have been so easy to be like, oh, because honestly, like, everything that happens before the credits start could have been told to us in like a 2-minute conversation. He could have met someone new and had to explain all of this to him, to them, and the audience still would have understood the same information, but we wouldn't have understood it the same way, though. We part of us, like, we did need to actually see that happen, even though it could have been told in a 5-minute conversation, but the fact that it wasn't made it so much more impactful, and therefore leads to richness more of character and of theme when that gets explored later on. I felt, at least.
Well, we're 40 minutes into this show and we've barely even gotten started, so what's the next
we're like halfway.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Next up, we have film editing, which also, I think all of the shorts, and I think film editing is the other one, that are getting cut out of the Oscar ceremony.
There's 8 of them,
they're
right?
Doing
that,
it like, it might be 8. I think you're right. Oh my god,
it's not cut out, but they're doing it before, and they're going to cut it into the broadcast. Later.
That is unbelievable. I'm going to go on a small rant real quick.
I'm not thrilled.
Dear Oscars, stop trying to appeal to the everyman person. Stop trying to appeal to the average film bro who's like, why would I ever want to sit through the 4-hour Oscars and just watch rich white people like jerk each other off for 4 hours? That's stupid. I want like good comedians and stuff, and I don't want to watch that. Stop it. They don't matter. You know who matters? The people like me, honestly. I know this sounds very self-indulgent, but I'm being honest. The people who like me, who have Oscar parties every year. It's the women who have their 40 friends over and have Oscar parties. These are the people who stay up on a Sunday night, let me mind you. And watch the Oscars. We are the people who I will sit through a 4-hour Oscars. I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Because I know it's my time. I can do whatever I want with my time, but these people spent their whole life trying to make a movie that then got nominated for an Oscar. So I think I can spend 4 hours out of my day.
It's kind of a juxtaposition because of them
have a speech.
Well, it's kind of a juxtaposition, I would say, here, because of the Rachel Zegler thing. When that happened, everybody was yelling at ABC, and that's not their fault. That was an Oscars fault, but
and a scheduling thing.
In terms of this whole thing, this is not the fault of the Oscars. This is the fault of ABC, because ABC,
all the producers too. They
said, do this or you're not getting a broadcast. That's what it came down to. So it's unfortunate, but you got to understand why it was done.
Screw
you know,
ABC.
It's terrible. I
want me to say it. Don't cut him.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. But anyway, sorry, you can keep reading the category. I apologize.
But anyway, it's just so frustrating that you know what I mean? They're going to edit out film editing. From the Oscars because editing doesn't matter. These movies edit themselves. What do you mean? They're just filmed that way. They film them in sequence at one time, and then the movie's made. They don't have to edit anything.
It's that easy. Like, you know, you don't even need editors. You know, it just happens itself. Like,
why edit something?
It was funny. This will be my first Oscar party. Like, I don't think I've ever actually sat through an entire Oscars.
I've been watching the Oscars since I was like 11.
I think last year
every year, whole thing.
Was it last year or the year before? Was the first time I had ever watched the Oscars?
Nice.
Or was that Golden Globe? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, and every year I would say this to add to Sammy's point, because every year we're getting new people like Jose, and I would hate for your first Oscars to be bummy because they made a stupid choice. You know, it's like, you know, and like to not really have the Oscars experience. I hope we still get a good show tonight, but you know,
it was funny is that
I think they're gonna try their darndest.
I think so.
I'm actually
that's my expectation.
I'm actually studying film editing right now in my class in college.
Oh, nice.
We're actually going. There was some kids that did presentations on film editing of specific scenes in a movie, and one of them did the Grand Hotel Budapest.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Budapest Hotel.
Amazing movie, by the way.
Which I still haven't seen.
You should watch it. It's
from
so
the
good.
clip. The clip that they showed in class, it looks like a phenomenal movie. So.
Did anybody catch French Dispatch this year? Just out of curiosity?
I did watch the French Dispatch.
I can't wait. It's on HBO now, right? I should watch it.
So yeah, it was wild. Again, it was
Wes
it was a
Anderson. I
lot.
expect nothing less.
It was wild. It was literally, so it's literally set up like a literary magazine, like a French Dispatch situation, like, and it's kind of wild because there's like 3 main stories in it, which are not connected at all, really, but then also are. And it was kind of, when I was watching it, I was like, what am I watching right now?
Yeah.
What even? I'm like, is there going to be a point? Again, I'm like, is there going to be a point to this? Who are these people? What is happening? And the movie never really explains that to you. But then again, that's the point. Because it is kind of just like, it's like reading a story in a literary magazine. Like you just kind of jump in and you just get told the story real quick.
I'm excited to see more Wes Anderson like immediately. So I'm definitely gonna watch it. It's
just
look at
the
the
cast. Worth watching though.
The cast is
always good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was
Wes Anderson.
acted. The actors were phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was not my issue at all.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal.
All right, what's next?
Well, for film editing, did I give the
you didn't read the nominees yet?
All right, rant over. We back.
Yeah.
So film editing, we have Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, The Power of the Dog, and my favorite film of last year, Tick Tick Boom.
Hey.
Yep, it's my number one.
This is tough. This is tough.
So, okay, I mean, my personal choice, I feel like, is probably Don't Look Up. Like, when I think about the ones that, like, the way these movies were edited, the one I really remember and the one that stood out to me the most was Don't Look Up. And I feel like, again, it was a very divisive movie. A lot of people probably didn't like the way it was edited, and that was a part of it, which understandable.
I don't mind the editing. It's other things, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. There's a lot of other stuff.
I really loved Don't Look Up, and I understand why a lot of people don't like it.
I liked it,
but I really loved it. It is really stuck in my mind. I've talked about it a lot since. Like, it keeps coming up in my everyday conversation, like, and I reference it all the time. Like, I really love that movie.
I liked it a lot. I really did. I'm not trying to say, like, it didn't even make my honorable mentions this year, though. Like, I don't like it to that degree, but I really like the movie. Yeah. I think it's a really good movie with really great performances and all around really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I'm the oddball here.
Yeah, Jose not so much. Yeah,
I did not like this. I did not like it in the slightest, honestly. Like, I think Jennifer Lawrence underperformed in this movie. I feel like she could have done a lot more. I disagree. Timothy Chalamet, I feel like he could have done more too, though. I think his character was probably my favorite in this movie.
He was awesome. Yeah, he was awesome.
He was amazing. He was my favorite character in the movie.
He always is.
DiCaprio,
and his character
DiCaprio did have more in this movie in terms of like versus Jennifer Lawrence, which I mean I did like too. I don't know, the movie in general. I don't know why I just didn't really. I kind of just put it in the back of my head. Like, of all the movies,
my position was I enjoyed it.
And then again, that just goes to show, because like,
do
you love the Batman?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, we all
see. Like, I couldn't give it less of a shit about the Batman. So I was gonna say, like, this is just a testament to like opinions, how crazy people are.
We did like
I don't even want to get into that because we'll be here for an hour.
A long time.
We did.
I do not give a shit. Honestly, I did not really like. I mean, I did like it. It's a very well-made movie, well acted, well written, but very well directed. I just don't care. I didn't care for it particularly.
We did like a 2.5 hour discussion on that.
And I love that for you.
Sammy tuned into that, so she saw it. That's all good.
I did watch it.
Anyway, I was gonna say my thing on Don't Look Up was I thought the editing was good. Like, I like the movie entirely. I thought my only issue with it is, like, I've also seen Big Short, which is another Adam McKay movie, and to me that's like, this was a big step down, like a step up from Vice, but a step down from Big Short is where I was at with it. And like,
I haven't seen The Big Short. I've seen Vice, and I loved Vice also.
Big Short is,
I'm gonna love The Big Short. I know
Big Short you'll love, Sammy. To me, like, Big Short, because Adam McKay is behind Succession as well, so like Big Short is the successor to Succession, if that makes sense, or not the successor. I'm sorry, Succession is the successor to Big Short. Right.
Yes.
Isn't that how it would be? Yeah.
Yes.
It's the one that came
Succession
after.
is the successor.
Successor to Big Short. So I think you would really like Big Short a lot. Like, you should really watch it. It's that good. But I just thought it was a step above Vice for him and a step down from Big Short. And I'm waiting for that Big Short again from Adam McKay. So like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think where I needed it to be stronger, it wasn't, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry.
But that being said, I do think that The Power of the Dog is probably going to win the best editing.
I think
that just feels right to me. It was a very well edited film, and I think that's the way the Academy is going to go.
I think it's going to be Tick, Tick, Boom, if I'm being honest.
I'd be happy if it was, because that was also a very well edited film.
I'm
for sure.
sticking with Jose. I think it's Tick, Tick, Boom as well.
That's
Wouldn't be mad.
Those were our original
Tick, Tick, Boom. I'm not changing my position.
I'm staying there.
I think Power of the Dog is the upset in this case. I think
Power of the Dog
of any of all the movies in this category as well, I wouldn't be mad if Power of the Dog won, because I really enjoyed the movie.
Too.
You know,
love it.
Cumberbatch and everyone. Yeah, it was just a great film.
Amazing. But I would say
that similarly to like Drive My Car is another one where it's very hard to watch and very complex and but also interesting. And if you're willing to get to the end and then think about it, you're like, wait,
wow. Yeah,
that was so good.
Power of the Dog was pretty dark and twisted. Like,
it was.
It was,
but again, on purposefully.
Exactly.
Like, you realize that was all for the story.
I never thought Benedict Cumberbatch could be good in a Western film, but then
he's great.
He comes and he surprises me, because this movie was phenomenal.
I would say,
great movie.
I'm definitely with Sammy that Power of the Dog could be it, but I think I think Tick, Tick, Boom is both the one I want and the one I think is going to get it, because I think there was just so many great editing choices in there.
100%.
What's that number where him and Vanessa Hudgens do? It's about midway.
Oh my God, it's called Therapy.
Look at that one. Look at the editing there.
The whole
where it goes like back and it goes like it goes like back and exactly. Yeah.
It's busy. It's busy, but it's executed so well.
Back and forth. It just goes like super quick. It's just like really
you know
quick
what, honestly, I kind of also wanted to go to Tick, Tick, Boom, because now I'm thinking about that scene particularly. That's a lot of editing. That scene it came together really because of the editing.
So you gonna stick with Power of the Dog, or you think
no, I'll stick with Power of the Dog, but I'll be happy to lose that one.
You know what, because that's the thing, is like, you're with Power of the Dog, but you wouldn't be mad if Tick, Tick, Boom won, where the we wouldn't be mad if Power of the Dog won. Like, I mean, it's just two greatly edited
both
movies.
Great.
Both great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what do you got?
So the next one, documentary feature. Back to this one. So this is Ascension, Flea, Attica, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Cannot Be Televised, and Writing with Fire. So I've actually only seen Flea, and I've started Summer of Soul, but I did not finish it. But it was good. But I'm thinking Summer of Soul. That's what I keep hearing is going to win. It was very good. I don't think the rest of them have. I mean, Flea obviously was also very good and was probably number 2, but I don't think the other 3 have much traction behind them or any really stand that much of a chance between those 2. And I think Summer of Soul is probably gonna overtake it a little bit.
My pick was at Ascension, I think, but I'm gonna change to Flea. I think it's gonna be Flea now that we're kind of into those.
That would be the only one
I can't
would take home. I think that's the award it has the best shot at, honestly, out of the 3.
I think based on height, we were both. Yeah, I'm going to change mine to Flea. You did say Flea.
I was on Flea because of the hype of the movie.
I think we're going to both go Flea.
I think we're going to, I'm going to stick with Flea. 100%.
All right, what's next, Sammy?
Stick with Flea.
All right. Next, we have costume design. I love costumes. Is this one of the ones being cut? Please don't tell me this was one of the categories. And such a great year too.
I know.
All 5 of these movies had phenomenal costumes.
100%.
I'm so angry right now.
100%.
That is a travesty. I'm angry.
Oh, here are the 4. Okay. I just looked. The eight categories are getting cut out.
Yeah, name them off real quick.
Film editing, sound, makeup/hairstyling, original score, production design, documentary short, animated short, and live action short.
Oh, so
costume design's in there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but original song? How are you cutting?
I'm mad at all of them. I'm mad that they're all cut.
I think original score is probably the one that I'm most mad about. How are you cutting?
I don't get it either.
Ceremony.
You're gonna let Hans Zimmer like give a speech before a crowd of people who are still funneling in?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, but the first time I'm watching with Dom and you're cutting original score, like, what is this?
Wow.
Disgusting.
And makeup/hairstyling. What the hell, man?
Yeah. So we're on costume design, right? in that.
Well, costume design is.
We are
yes.
in costume design.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we are. Yes. Yeah.
And that is in.
Go.
Yes. All right. So the nominees are Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story. So again, I think it's probably going to be Dune. I think all of these costumes were phenomenal. I do also think Cruella is probably really up there. It's really, I think it's between Cruella and Dune. Like it's their race.
Somebody explained to me how Cyrano got snuck in here. Though.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea.
Did you see the movie?
I have not, and I hear it's great.
Either.
I'm not saying
it was great,
I'm
and
not
the
saying
costumes were great.
I'm
the costumes
not
were
saying that.
part of the storytelling. They were phenomenal.
I'm not saying that, but it also came out in 2022, which is my question.
I know. Well, okay. I think I was also confused about this because this movie was like supposed to come out in November and then December. Then it kept getting pushed back. And then I saw at the weekend it was like released around me, which was like the last week in February.
Right.
It was,
so how did it get
think like it came out
That's
in.
my question.
Because the thing is like in order for a movie to be nominated for the Academy Awards, it has to have played in a movie theater in both New York and LA for at least like 2 weeks, I think is the rule. And so I feel like in the year 2021, it played in movie theaters.
It played in New York and LA.
New York for 2 weeks. And it counts.
I just looked it up and it did.
It did. Okay.
It got
like it's whatever
that
year
makes sense. Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's the year.
It got it in the nick of time, but that's fair.
And then
I was just curious.
Everywhere else it came out in 2022, but in New York and LA, it was played in 2021.
Fair.
So.
I just think because the movie is so good, I just wish for its sake that it maybe would have waited, because maybe it would have gotten a better outreach if it had waited. That's why I wasn't saying that because
if this
against
movie,
the movie,
oh my
I was
God.
saying it for it. Yeah.
If this movie had been well marketed and came out around like Thanksgiving, who knows how many more things it would have been nominated for, honestly.
100%.
At CinemaCon, this is my understanding of it, is at CinemaCon, when they showed the footage, they advertised it as a 2022 movie. So I'm going to blame the studio on this because I think that's unfair to the movie. That's my point, is like I think it's unfair that they marketed it as such, because like I'm not saying the movie's bad. I bet it's amazing. I love Peter Dinklage and all that. I just it looks great. And I was excited for it. I just was kind of like, wow, it kind of like really snuck its way. And if it had just waited till maybe this year, it would have gotten better attention. Maybe it could have been up for the best picture if it's as good as I hear.
I was about to say it could have been nominated for some.
That's what I mean.
Other Oscars.
Yeah, and it got one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it just.
It could have been. We could have got an actor, picture, maybe director, even
costume design, like right now.
Production. Oh my God, the production design. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I mean, they did film it on location, I will say.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. And you can tell like this takes place in one town in Italy.
So where are you?
But one of the most beautiful towns in Italy.
It's like Tragedy Macbeth. We really see that
right.
One place. Yeah, exactly.
It's where it's one place, but like the place is gorgeous. I'm gonna stick with Dune, although it really is probably actually gonna be Cruella. But I still feel like it's going to be Dune. There's there's a part of my gut that's like, no, I'm gonna give it to Dune.
I'm changing my position. I said it was going to be Dune. I said it was going to be Cruella. I'm going to change my position to Dune. I think it's going to be Dune.
No, you actually did not say Cruella. You said West Side.
I think it's going to be Dune.
Or you said West Side.
I think it's going to be Dune. I'm changing my position.
I'm going to stick. I said Cruella, and I'm going to stick with Cruella, honestly.
I'm talking about Lady Jessica's that gown that she wears with the jewelry and the chains all down her face,
and the Reverend Mother too.
Come on, the Reverend Mother's thing with the veil, and then even the design of what are they called, the suits that they wear when they're out on the Dune, honestly look phenomenal.
Yeah, but then you look at Cruella's dresses and stuff like that. They're just so out there.
I know they are,
and crazy that it could also win costume.
And they're
design.
good. They're good dresses. Yeah,
exactly. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's gonna look. I wouldn't be mad if either Dune or Cruella won. I mean, both had amazing costumes.
Yeah,
so,
I'm leaning Dune. I think it's gonna be Dune. Personally, I think maybe Cruella's the more deserving on this, but I think it's gonna be Dune. That's my personal take. Yeah. Well, I'm changing.
Fair enough.
All right. What do you got, Jose? Do you
Next up we got.
Oh, you said Cruella, right? You're sticking with Cruella.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Cruella. Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, Sammy.
All right. Yeah. So next up we got cinematography, which we got Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. Again, should we say it?
It's.
I mean,
together?
I think we're
It's
all
Dune.
three. I think, as I say, all three of us are in the same. It's Dune.
It's
I mean,
Dune. Come on.
I just
Dune.
I just finished studying like 2 weeks ago cinematography and did a whole presentation on a movie for cinematography, and watching Dune again now, knowing what I've studied, the cinematography in Dune compared to all these other movies, like, no offense, the other movies have great cinematography, but just compared to Dune, it doesn't, a different level. It doesn't compare. The cinematography in Dune, the angles, the low angles, the high angles, the close-ups, the extreme close-ups, like all the cinematography used in Dune is amazing. Honestly, it was great. It was great, honestly. Dune's gonna take it. Yeah, 100%.
Sammy, Dune.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
It's Dune.
Cool.
We had Dune, and we're sticking with Dune.
Yep.
It's gonna be Dune. All right. So next up, we got another favorite category of mine. I love all of these movies. Well, for the most part. Hold on. Animated feature film. I love 4 out of the 5. So we have Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. So not the biggest Raya fan.
Neither. You know what?
Like
you know what? Look, Sammy, you and I are in the same boat. I did not like Raya that much, if I'm being honest.
I know, and Dom didn't like Luca, right?
No, I did not like Luca. That's correct.
Wait, Sammy, you love Luca? Oh my gosh.
I did love Luca. That's so good, man.
I honestly, so I cry every time I watch it. Honestly,
that's so good.
I love Luca, honestly, but Raya.
I didn't like Raya at all.
I think it's the weakest one in this nomination list.
I think for sure.
Yeah.
I do think though it's gonna go to Encanto. I think that is definitely gonna win. But honestly, I mean, I did love Fleet, but like I really love The Mitchells versus the Machines as well. That was on my top 10 as well. It's on Netflix. It's phenomenal. Yeah. It's so good. It's such a good family story. It's such good. The characters are so well drawn and so modern and so interesting and so real. And it was such a good, but also the story was so good and so fascinating, but also still accessible for kids. But kind of had that same Encanto thing where like it's for kids, but then as an adult you watched and you're like, wait, that was actually about something me as an adult is making me roll my mind around, you know? So I would love to see it go to Mitchells versus the Machines, because I think I just love that movie so much and it deserves to be awarded, but it's going to be Encanto, which equally deserves great recognition, because it also did the same thing where it's for kids again, but then the adults watched it and they're like, oh my god, that was about my trauma.
So you know, I haven't seen Mitchells versus Machines, though. I've heard a lot of hype around it. I just think that where Encanto has the upper hand on Mitchells versus Machines is that it's Latino. It's you know, the fact that they went to Colombia to research for this movie really gives Encanto the upper hand on Mitchells versus Machines, because the story that this movie, where there is magic involved in this, and obviously, you know, it's magic and all that, but just the story and the message that this movie brings forth, I feel like not only Latinos but everyone in the world can really relate to. More obviously Latinos than others, but it's just that story and that message where they actually went to Colombia to research for it, I think has the upper hand on a lot of these other ones.
And that's like that's Disney for it, you know what I mean? That's why Disney time after time wins these awards, and they are so good, and they are like they're not classics, and they don't define generations of children for no reason. It's not because all kids are dumb, like it's because they're good movies, and they work very hard to make them good movies, because they take the time to go to the places that they're talking about.
Jose, I was going to
talk to the people and to get the best storytellers they can, and everyone in the business knows that.
Jose, I was
done. Sorry,
you're fine. No,
did Jose, I cut off?
Just for a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Jose,
okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Jose, I was going to change my position, or I was going to keep my position on Mitchells versus the Machines, but after your statement, I'm going to go with Encanto. So change my Encanto. Yes. So
my statement moved you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. You made a lot of great points in terms of the representation. That's why I think it might win. So I'm gonna go with Encanto.
Because that's the thing.
It pushes it over that edge. Yeah.
So Encanto almost reminds me of Moana, because Moana obviously as well. It's about an islander, so it's more geared towards an islander and the struggles that they go through, but at the same time other people can relate to it as well. So like it kind of just goes back to Moana, where Disney's really pushing the edge and really surprising us with these more out there movies where they geared more towards other races, where really everyone can relate.
They might watch Turning Red, by the way. I was just curious.
I did watch Turning Red.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was very, I really liked Turning Red. It was cute. It was very good. I don't know if you guys are gonna like it, and you need to watch it first and then get back to me.
Okay.
But it's also this is part of it also, what I was gonna say, because again, the great thing also is because while it's about a race and a culture, it's also not, you know what I mean? Because like while Encanto is about Colombian people, it's also about a family and about a teenage girl trying to find her way in a family. You know what I mean? Like Moana is about an island girl, but it's also just about like a young woman trying to come of age.
I was about to say, it's also about her, about trying to. So that's where Moana and Encanto really, they're like similar, because in Moana it's about this girl trying to impress her family, where in Encanto it's the same. She's trying to impress her family and really be accepted by her family. So that's where they really both relate, but they're also
because they both neither one of their families sees the thing that who they are is not good enough for their family. They're like, oh, you want to sail? That's not good enough. You need to stay here. Oh, you don't have a gift? That's not good enough.
Exactly.
You need to work extra.
But then in the end, they accept it because they realize it's
Oh, I love Encanto, man. I love Moana too. I love Disney. For the most part. They piss me off a lot.
So where are we at? Do we all have Encanto for this? Is that okay? All right, cool. All right, what's next?
All right, next up we're going to do the writing categories. So starting with original screenplay. Screenplay. We have Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. Okay. So I mean, for me, it's between Don't Look Up and Licorice Pizza. Again, I think Don't Look Up, again, very divisive movie. A lot of people loved it and a lot of people hated it. And so I think that kind of splits the vote on a lot of the categories that it's nominated for. But it did also win the Writers Guild Award for Best Screenplay. That kind of gave me hope, because I was like, also like, I'm not like a published writer, but like I write a lot. And a lot of times I look at movies and books and stuff like from a writer's point of view, or I try to notice what the writer had done and things. That's like a very big thing that's on my mind. And I feel that's part of why I love Don't Look Up so much, because it was so well written, and the themes and the way it was talking about it was so smart. And I think the Writers Guild, at least, really, they saw that and they appreciate, like, yes, it's controversial, but very well written controversy. And so we still acknowledge that. I do think, though, Licorice Pizza is probably, though, the best script, though.
Yeah,
that was a very well written movie.
I agree 100% with you. I think it is going to be Don't Look Up, and I think that was my original position, and I'm sticking with that.
It was your original.
I think it is going to be Don't Look Up.
I think after they won the Writers Guild Award, it will probably be the same.
But Licorice Pizza is the more deserving here. I mean, I do agree with you on that, but it is going to be Don't Look Up. I think Don't Look Up wins.
I had King Richard here originally, but I'm gonna change to Licorice Pizza after having watched both movies. I'm gonna change to Licorice Pizza.
The thing about King Richard, and the reason I don't think it's gonna win, while it is a very good script, I don't know how original you could say it is. I mean, it is original, don't get me wrong, but like I'm saying, it's less original in the sense that it's based on something. Like, you know what I mean? So I mean,
you could say the same about Belfast,
which is why I don't think that'll win either. Right? I think Don't Look Up is it's an original story. While it does take elements from our real world and things that are going on, obviously, like it's an original story through and through. The writing's original, the movie. I think that's why it's going to take the win, and also the splitting of the votes, I think, is actually going to work towards its advantage rather than a downfall for it. So I think that it is going to be Don't Look Up, but I think Licorice Pizza will be the upset, because Licorice Pizza is the most deserving, and when you're talking originality, you're looking at original Licorice Pizza, most deserving, 100%.
But I mean, also Licorice Pizza based on the real life childhood of Paul Thomas Anderson and his friend Gary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. That's true. That's a good point. You bring up a good point, but I I don't know. I'm gonna say it's got to be Don't Look Up here. I would say it's definitely the one that's gonna.
I mean, when I look at it, if any nomination, I mean, probably that would probably be the one that I wouldn't be upset if it won.
Yeah.
I mean, if Licorice Pizza or Don't Look Up wins, I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Yeah, honestly.
I guess all in all, the point I was making about the difference with King Richard is it's a more public story. You know what I mean, as opposed to
because it's basically about the life of Serena Venus Williams growing up, trying to become
these. It's a more public story,
right? As opposed to like Belfast or
your personal childhood
personal stories,
life,
which I think need to be commended more so than public story. No offense to King Richard, it's one of my favorite movies of 2021. I think it's unbelievable.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's no offense to that movie.
When you really look at it, it's pretty close to the story of Serena Venus Williams when they grew up. I mean, that game at the end. I
don't remember if they were producers, but they were definitely like consulted. Like they were on set a lot.
I was going to say,
what was going on.
I did watch a video of Venus and Serena going to set and meeting the girls that were playing them, their younger selves, and they
like talked to Will Smith.
Exactly,
and they knew. Yeah,
that last match that was put in the movie was an actual match that Venus had. When she, it was literally like exactly how the match went.
Yeah,
I just think just think in the department of original screenplay, it's the least deserving of all these. But in every other aspect, it's amazing.
That makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I wouldn't be mad if it was Licorice Pizza.
No,
Look Up.
I think it could win. Yeah, I think it's possible. Anyway, Sammy, sorry. What's next?
All right.
Oh wait. Sorry. So are we? Where are you at, Jose? Then.
Well, so I'm with Licorice Pizza. You guys are.
Oh, okay, you're staying with Licorice Pizza. Okay,
just
making sure. We're both going. Don't Look Up. All right, go ahead, Sammy.
All right, next we have Best Adapted Screenplay, and we have Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog. This is like a very good group of movies. I loved all of these movies very 100%. Much. I think though it is probably going to go to Coda. I think that one just has the most momentum. I loved that movie, by the way. That was like one of the only movies I cried at this year. I cried so hard at the end of, again, spoiler alerts for Coda if you haven't seen it, but when she's doing her audition for her school and then they walk in
and she's doing, oh my God, and she's doing
she starts signing. Oh my gosh. I could cry right now, man. I could cry. That moved me. That moved me.
I'm gonna tell you right now too. Another scene that made me cry too was when she started singing and her father put her.
I know, yeah.
Oh my God, that was a
lot.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful movie. I love Coda.
I watched it on Apple TV. Oh my gosh!
I got an Apple TV free trial. I actually I let it go past the free trial. I had it for a month. I paid a full $5.
Yeah, I have
subscription.
I have Apple Music, where I pay $5 a month, so I get Apple TV through my Apple Music. So I
nice. I have an Android,
I'm Android too. Android guy.
No,
I do the trial.
I mean, what's it called? I have a Samsung, which is an Android, and Apple Music.
Oh yeah, you can get Apple Music on Android now.
You can get Apple Music on Android.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I have a Samsung Galaxy, and
didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
And Apple Music's on there.
It's like with Roku, I can get Apple TV. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So when I first got this, because this is the first time I've had an Android, and I wanted to see if it had Apple Music. Because if it didn't, I would just cancel my Apple Music and get a Spotify.
Yeah.
But I saw that there's Apple Music on Samsung, so I was like, cool. I'll just keep my Apple Music. And I found out that with Apple Music, I also get Apple TV, so I'm paying for Apple Music and Apple TV only $5 a month, which is amazing. So
my review, I mean, I saw it at a Coda at a press screening, weeks before it came out, and I remember telling Jose like how personally touched I was by it because of the director intro and just and it is she had this attitude of talk about this movie when you see it. I don't care if your opinion is good or bad. I just want you to talk about my movie and give your opinion and your thought, and how much she was saying it was a personal story to her. And just, it meant so much to me. Like, this is like a filmmaker's filmmaker here, when I was listening to her speak on the intro there, that
I felt that when watching it too, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I don't know if Oscar's the Grouch is going to see it this way, but for me, it's definitely
Oscar's the Grouch.
This is one of those movies that is just so, it has it all. You know what I mean? It has everything going for it. But look, I think this category in particular is going to be Power of the Dog. I'm gonna have to say Power of the Dog
is the second. That was what I would rank number 2.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
unfortunately.
so you're changing because you were on Dune originally.
I think it's Power of the Dog. Well, yeah, I would say Power of the Dog.
See, I'm gonna stick. I had Coda originally, and I'm gonna stick with it.
And I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to the director category, but I think that Coda is going to win here because the Power of the Dog is going to do other things, and I think it will win here instead of some other places.
But let me say on the flip side, I actually think Dune will still be the upset because
that would be a big upset, man. If Dune might win, I would be like, Dune's going to win Best Picture if it beat Coda, Power of the Dog.
Here's the thing.
Adapted screenplay.
Let me think about this. Jose, you might have to scratch me out. I think I'm switching back over to Dune. Here's the thing about Dune. This will be my last switch, I think, with this one.
Well, let me know for sure if you're switching to Dune.
Here's the thing with Dune. Let's talk about this for a second because Dune, you look at that book. It is hefty.
Bro, it's like 900 pages long.
It's an
I have
effort.
it. It's like
I was gonna say I'll go grab it right now.
I can grab it. It's in
she's got it right there.
Arm sight.
It's an effort.
It's the little version too.
That is an effort.
It's even bigger.
To adapt.
I was gonna say I've got the version that's got the movie poster on the front.
Yeah.
I've got that version too. I
got this at like a thrift store.
I got mine at Barnes and Noble. I got the one at Barnes and Noble.
That's a dope cover.
The movie poster.
Look at when you read the book, and Jose, you've read half of the book too.
Yeah, I've read up to the point where the movie ended.
I've read the whole thing.
I've yet to begin it.
I can say,
but I want to.
It's amazing. But
honestly,
I can say
it's basically like the movie. If I'm being honest, like you read the book and you just can see the movie in your mind when you read it. It's honestly incredible.
You know, I could say this when you read that book, you immediately the first thought I had when I was reading, because I read it before the movie, was how is this going to be adapted to where it's like it fits the length of a 2-hour movie. And what I think is so smart about the way the script was written is this. It's that it gives the most important things in places of the story that it's necessary, if that makes sense. Like it's in the best parts of the story, or the parts of the story. And there was moves made with certain information and certain details to where it was like almost repositioned to make the movie more digestible for just any old viewer. So I think to make the story digestible, I should say. So I think what's actually going to be looked at here is how this book was adapted and how, in terms of that, I'm going to switch back to Dune. This is my last switch on this category, but I think it's going to be Dune for this reason. So yeah,
you know what? Honestly, after that reason, I'm switching to Dune now too.
Yeah, I think it's got.
It would be again. I wouldn't be mad at all because again, it would be the only category where Denis gets to literally get handed his flowers for this movie, not like inadvertently through like cinematography and visual effects. So
this is the version
I could not believe that he was not nominated for Best Director.
I know.
By the way, it's a good copy.
Yeah, this is the one with the movie poster on the front.
Now a major motion picture.
Exactly.
That's how I read it. You're like an old timey because I'm like, who calls it a major motion picture? Come on. Now a major motion picture. Grow up. It's not the 40s. They always do that. They're like, now a major motion picture.
It's true. So true.
Like you can call it a movie. I know what it is.
Really quick. So Sammy, where are you going? I'm sorry.
I'm going Coda.
Coda.
Still, I think it's going to be Coda.
Jose and I are Dune. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to clear that up. All right. Go ahead.
That's the thing is, if I think Dune's going to win any award, it's going to be this one, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it'll win cinematography easily too. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we're going to do the acting categories. So starting with actress in a supporting role. Which this one's a lock-in. We know who's winning this, but we have Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, do we?
I think we know. I would be shocked.
Continue.
Let me just say for like we did this list like what, a month ago, probably
something like that. But we hadn't seen some stuff too. So let's hear the categories.
Okay.
Let's hear.
There's a clear front runner for me.
Okay.
Right, but we have Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Ingenue Ellis for King Richard. This is Ariana DeBose is going to win.
No.
Yes, she is.
No, she will not.
I'll bet you $10 right now. I am so serious. She's gonna win.
Ariana DeBose.
This is Ariana DeBose. This is probably gonna be the first let me tell you what also is going to happen. This will probably be the first or second award handed out, and it's going to set a really good tone because they all know that Ariana DeBose is going to win, and she's going to give a very nice, very lovely speech. Like this great newcomer who like did this great role, which she did. I loved West Side Story. Loved her in West Side Story. I think she deserves it. But it is very political, and she fits right in. It's going to be the first or second award. It's going to set a tone. It's going to be beautiful.
I think Rachel Zegler deserves it more than her, though.
I agree.
I think she also should have been nominated.
I think Maria's character deserves it more than Ariana DeBose.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that I actually think this was.
I was gonna say that's where I don't think that Ariana DeBose is gonna win.
I don't understand how.
I don't bet you money.
I don't understand if they really did campaign Zegler, and it seems like they don't give a shit about her. How in the hell, like which you can campaign Zegler as supporting. She's not the lead technically. Yeah. You could look at her as the lead, but like I would say the lead is Tony in this movie, in this particular case.
Yeah,
personally,
that's just being like. So then is Juliet not the lead in Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Let's be honest. The word supporting in the Oscars is bullshit. Like it really is.
It's literally like
you can honestly campaign. There's been times that leads have been campaigned or vice versa.
Do you know what the history of it is? I know that this is okay. So I'm assuming, I know for a fact in the Tonys on Broadway, this is how it was. So I'm going to go ahead and assume it's probably very similar for the Oscars, but it's literally billing. It's for the Tonys for musicals and Broadway. It's if your name is billed above the title, you are considered a leading role. And if it's billed below the title, then you are a supporting role. So it's literally like, are you billed above the title or below the title? That's a supporting or a leading role.
Yeah.
Look, it's literally arbitrary. It's where did they happen to place you?
It's kind of bullshit in a way. Like in terms of like, I'm glad it's there, you know, but like the word supporting is kind of bullshit because we've seen it to where it's happened vice versa too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, remember the Judas and the Black Messiah situation, Sammy? Like we were like, what? The way they did that was weird. And it was like, okay, wait a minute. You know, did they do like Lakeith and support, whatever it was?
They were both in supporting.
Yeah. And it was like, so who's the lead? So it's bullshit. So my point
I was like, so who's the lead? Judas, you're going to tell me neither Judas nor the Black Messiah was the lead in the movie.
So not only is
it was the narrator
going off that
it was
logic,
Jesse Plemons.
Going off that logic, not only is Rachel Zegler a snub here, I just don't think because I would have put her over. Nothing against Ariana DeBose, she's very good in the movie. That's not me wrong. I'm not insulting her performance. There
were scenes with her in this movie where she was phenomenal. But
where she yells at all of the jets.
But it's great.
In the store,
but then you look at the end scene where you know Tony dies and you know she's got the gun, and that scene right there from her is just like oh my god, what the hell. Like
I do also think there's a part of it because again, like I do like all of the changes that they made, like in the script from the original movie and the original, you know, Broadway show to this movie. And a lot of it was they added a lot more like agency to Anita and Maria. But honestly, Maria, now I'm thinking about it, probably a little bit more because Maria like I had never seen her have more agency or control like over what's going on in herself than the way she was portrayed in Steven Spielberg's movie. But also that being said, I also think that Ariana DeBose was very similar, but I think the thing that pushed her over the edge was the Rita Moreno of it all, was the fact that they were like, they looked at themselves and said, we can't sleep at night knowing that we gave Rita Moreno an award for doing the same thing basically that Ariana DeBose did, and we didn't give her an award.
Right. I hear that too. And look, I'm not...
Which they didn't do the exact same thing, but it's in the mind of the Academy. It's like, if we know that one is good, we have to give it to the other.
Right. And I think that's a really good point. I also think though, as the person who watched these movies pretty much a day apart from each other, both King Richard and West Side Story, this is Angelou Ellis's award. Like I'm telling you right now,
she was great.
I'm going to I will be very upset if she does not get this. Like I will be, because I think
again, Ariana DeBose though, I feel like just had more to do. You know what I mean? She's in the movie more.
Sure.
So there's more of an, and she was in the movie more and was great all of those times.
I won't.
Not that that's Ingenue Ellis' fault for not being in the movie.
Exactly.
That much,
My point is like you look at. I'm talking about when it comes to powerful performance. I'm looking at the singular. You put it in a vacuum. I'm going to say it's Ingenue Ellis, and I think it's the most deserving in this category, and I think it's the straight winner. I really do, actually. Now that I've seen both movies, I'm going to say, because I actually thought it was going to be DeBose too prior to seeing both. And then now that I've seen King Richard, it's got to be Ingenue Ellis. Like, I would be very surprised if not. I understand your position, and I do think that Ariana DeBose is definitely the upset for me. Like, if she wins, it's going to be the upset. But I think it's got to be Ingenue Ellis. I don't know, Jose, where are you going with that?
No, I definitely, I'm writing right now. I definitely agree with you on that. After watching King Richard, her performance in it was just phenomenal, honestly. And if she doesn't win, I mean, like I said, I would have, if Rachel Zegler was there instead of Ariana DeBose,
sure, it'd be a different conversation.
I would have said Rachel Zegler, but since it isn't, you know, with King Richard, you know, she was just phenomenal. So I'm gonna go with her.
I second you on that. I think that it would be a different discussion if we were talking about Rachel Zegler in West Side instead 100%. Of Ariana DeBose. Yeah. I really do. I think I would be saying, Rachel Zegler all the way.
Now, I still have to say, honestly, I think if I know the Academy, like I think I know the
Walk
Academy.
Like the Academy, talk like the Academy. I get it. Yeah.
It's the Academy, but it's that I think even if Rachel Zegler was also nominated in this category, I think we would have a lot of talk. We'd definitely be like, I think Rachel deserves it more, and we definitely talk about it, but I think at the end of the day, the result would be the same, and Ariana wouldn't walk away with that award no matter what. I really think so.
I get your mindset.
If I know them, like I think I do.
I get your mindset. I get your mindset. I'm gonna say Ingenue Ellis though.
Yeah, same.
I get it though. I do, because I've said I think Ariana DeBose is the upset for me. But I was
going to say that's the thing is I wouldn't be mad if
I guess not. No, I would kind of be. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would kind of be upset. It's nothing against the performance. I think Ingenue Ellis is the more deserving by a long shot. I think. By a mile. Don't
get me wrong. I agree with you on that.
I think it's by a mile.
I hear where Sammy's coming from, and I wouldn't be mad if Ariana. I mean, I would prefer Rachel Zegler to win that award, but
absolutely
at the same time, I mean, she was also. I mean, you look at the scenes that she was in; she was phenomenal. In this movie.
Good. I'm not insulting her performance. It's perfect for what the movie needs, and it's everything that you needed the movie to have. Ariana DeBose, great for that movie. It's just I get what Sammy's saying too, to where it was like Ingenue was offered more to do as well. You know, like I get that as well. Like the story definitely offered her more to do, but I think sometimes that's just the case. It comes down. That's the competition.
I think,
you know,
honestly, to be honest, if Rita Moreno had not won for playing Anita when she had, I think that we could be living in a world where Ingenue Ellis wins. But I think because that precedent was set, we don't live in that world anymore.
But you even saying that is another reason I think that it's not going to happen. You know, because I also think that that's going to be something that's looked at. It's like, well, we've kind of handed this out before. Not that now we've had like the Joker situation too, but the
Joker situation,
but it's different to me because, well, okay, granted, now I haven't seen the original West Side Story, but I think that
it's so good though.
The Joker situation was like an actual deserving thing, like in my opinion.
I think this is an actual deserving thing,
and that's fair for you to think, and I think that's fair. I think that's fair, and I'm not trying to change your mind on this. I'm just trying to get my point because, like, it's. To me, it really is like Ingenue Ellis by a mile better, in my personal opinion, and that's kind of where I'm at. But
all right,
fair enough. All right, here we are. All right, what's next? What's the next category there, Sammy?
All right, next up, supporting actor in a supporting role. Oh man, I don't know how to pronounce it right. Sirian Hins.
I think you got it.
That's Sirian Hins, the little boy in Belfast. Troy Kotzer for Coda. I also don't know if I said that.
I think that's actually correct. Good job.
Troy Kotzer. I think it's right. Yeah. Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons for being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith McPhee for The Power of the Dog. Oof. This, I think it's going to be Troy Kotzer.
I think so too.
He's been winning all the awards.
It's Troy Kotzer. Yeah.
Also, looking at this list now, like, I really did like all these movies, and like thinking about all these performances, I would also probably vote for a Troy Kotsur.
I don't know. The only
that's
thing
who I'm going for.
in my personal take, the only one, and it's very hard because I think I agree with you. Like Troy Kotsur, if he wins, he deserves it. It's 100%. Like he's got the right to it if he wins it. The Cody Smith McPhee thing is what worries me.
That's my number two. That's why I'd rank number two.
I would not like count him out. I think he's going to be an upset. Maybe it's very possible, but I think it's hands down going to Troy Kotsur. Jose, where you at?
I know it's a tough one, honestly.
Yeah,
like, I'm between Troy, like you said, Troy and Cody Smith McPhee, honestly, because Cody Smith McPhee in Power of the Dog, the role that he played was just
so good.
Honestly, it was phenomenal. I had never heard of him before, really, honestly, up until Power of the Dog, and seeing him in this movie.
He's an X-Men, man.
Is he? Who's the X-Men?
He's the tail guy, the blue. Somebody's gonna kill me in the comments. The blue tail.
I'm gonna have to see a picture.
Yeah, look up Cody Smith McPhee in X-Men, but he was in Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse.
Oh my God! Dark Phoenix,
I didn't see either of those.
Look, Dark Phoenix.
Oh, there you go.
Dark Phoenix was an ass movie.
It's not a good movie.
I'm
just saying he was.
I didn't see either because they both.
I saw X-Men Dark Phoenix in theaters, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it was the worst. Honestly, if I was to walk out of any movie, it would have been that one.
Not a very good movie, but he is in it anyway.
It was a bad movie. Who am I gonna go for? Because originally we both had J.K. Simmons and Being the Ricardos at first.
I think I'm changing. I'm going Troy Kotsur.
Yeah. I do also think
he's the one from Coda. He's the one from Coda, right?
Yes.
Troy Kotsur is the dad.
I'm gonna go with him, honestly, because you know, the fact that he was able to play this deaf dad so well in this movie was phenomenal. And the scenes that he had too with his daughter and stuff like that, it was great. It was great.
I would like to give some commentary on this though, really quick. I don't understand why. Nothing against Troy Kotsur because he's great in the movie, and there's no doubt about it. But I think, like, I know we're in the world of Jesse Plemons, and I get that, and he's awesome, and I love Jesse Plemons and everything. But if we're going to go with the Judas and the Black Messiah logic to where we can have two supportings, I think Eugenio Derbez should have also been nominated for Coda.
100%. Yeah, and
I'm so confused why he's not in here.
Who was that? Sorry, who did you say?
He's the music teacher.
Eugenio Derbez.
Oh, yeah.
Why he's not in this category is baffling to me. So I
feel like the kid from Belfast got in there.
Well, no, it wasn't.
I would have taken out Jesse. I would have taken out.
I was going to say, I would have taken out Jesse Plemons.
I love Jesse Plemons in the movie.
I could have also lived without.
Because
Cody Smith McPhee was just so much better comparatively.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was good, and that's a testament to just how good Cody Smith McPhee was.
And the guy who played the grandfather of the kid from Belfast was great. I mean,
I forget his name, but I know his face 100%.
He was the one that was just nominated for a supporting role. He was the one that played the grandfather, Sierran, whatever his name is. Yeah, he was the one that just got nominated. He was very good, so I would have taken Jesse Plemons out.
Yeah, Jesse Plemons for sure.
And put in Eugenio Derbez because the role that he played in Coda was just it was my second favorite performance from Eugenio Derbez behind.
Oh, is Sirian Hines the grandpa?
Yeah,
he's the
Sirian
grandpa.
Hines.
Oh, okay, I was thinking that was the kid.
No,
you let me go this whole time.
And I was going to correct you too, but you just kept playing.
We know now. The grandfather in Belfast.
I was going to correct you, but you wouldn't shut up.
I would have shut up for a correction.
I'm kidding.
Now the egg is on my face.
I'm kidding.
Didn't need to be there, but here we are.
I'm kidding.
Instructions
not included. We know now.
Instructions not included is still my favorite performance from Eugenio Derbez to this day, which I've told Dom multiple times to watch already.
I still haven't watched it
because he directs and stars in that movie, and the message in that movie is amazing, and it's my favorite performance from him to this day. But the performance in Coda has been my second favorite from him to this day. So yeah, I think he deserved it more than Jesse Plemons, if I'm being honest.
Okay, children, let's go.
What's nice. All right, so next we're going to do our leading roles. Let's start with actress in a leading role. So we have Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman, Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer.
I know who you're
So
going with.
I think I'm going Jessica
Me too.
Chastain. I think it's her time.
Yeah.
I think it's her moment. I think she is the moment.
Yeah.
She is the now.
Mhm.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And she deserves it because I really think that performance was phenomenal. And I mean, again, being such a strong Lucille Ball fan, I really did love, and I was afraid when I heard Nicole Kidman was going to be playing Lucy. I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to be good, but I mean, it's a testament to I think the writing was probably really, really good, and that motivated her to probably go as deep as she did. But oh my God, she was Lucy. Like she was. I've been watching I Love Lucy since I was in like the 4th grade. Like I know Lucille Ball, and that was Lucille Ball.
Mm-hmm.
She was phenomenal, and a lot of Academy people also know Lucille Ball between a fake and a real one.
Oh yeah,
and she was the real one.
So Dom, you switching to Jessica Chastain?
I'm switching to Chastain, yes. And
I think it's Chastain.
I'll tell you what, man, I would love to see Kidman walk away with it, but I think it's going to be Chastain tonight. I do.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Kidman. I think honestly her performance in Being the Ricardos was.
I would be overjoyed if it was Nicole Kidman.
I understand.
I haven't seen I Love Lucy, but her performance in Being the Ricardos, I enjoyed it more than Jessica Chastain's performance in The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
I understand your position. I do. And I would love to see Kidman walk away, but I think it's going to be Chastain. I understand your position 100%.
I think it's the time.
Yeah.
It's in the air. It's Jessica Chastain. It's just in the air, and it's her time.
I'm with you. Yeah.
To be Academy Award winning.
It's
Jessica
true.
Chastain.
And not to mention, I mean, I think that there's going to be a little bit of I don't know what the right word for this would be, but like there's going to be a little bit of division maybe even in that decision. But I think that a lot of the Academy is maybe a little upset they can't nominate her for Scenes from a Marriage because it's considered a television show.
Yeah.
And like, just to go off your point of it's the time of Chastain.
If that happens though, like a career win or like just the work they did.
I think they're going to look at that
year.
too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They definitely.
Because
they definitely saw Academy like voters and acting nominee in the actress category have definitely also seen Scenes from a Marriage.
Yeah.
So.
Not to say she's not deserving for her Tammy Faye performance. I'm just saying in general, it's just the way I look at it is like like you said, it's like a career win. You know, it's like this vote is for her career, and I get that 100%.
Yeah.
I think that
it's so she can be billed as Academy Award winner, Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, like I feel like whenever
she's earned that right. So
I don't know when this will happen, but like it kind of reminds me of whenever Adam Driver does finally win his Oscar, it's going to be a career win. It's not just going to be for that performance. Everybody, we're going to be like, we've just been wanting to do this for so long, but you've always just been outperformed every year. We've been wanting to give you this.
You know
what
would be really sad too. If he got Denzel'd or something where he was in like a really phenomenal movie one year and then lost, and then everybody was like, what the fuck was that? And then the next year he's in like a good but mediocre movie and then he wins Best Actor for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would suck.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield keeps getting Denzel too.
Oh my god.
Benedict Cumberbatch honestly has been like he will win an Oscar one day, and I feel like it could be similar where he gives he's either gonna have to give the performance, he's gonna have to do a Revenant situation and like eat bear meat and like crawl in the mud in the woods for 5 months, or it's gonna be like a Denzel situation.
Absolutely. All right, we got to get moving. We're short on time.
All right.
Keep going.
All right, we only got like 3 more. Actor in a leading role is our next one. So we have Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith, King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. I think this is Will Smith's category. This is, again, it's time that we have him billed as Academy Award winner. Will Smith. It is again. It's the same thing with Jessica Chastain. It's the time. It just happens to be the time. It's not particularly the performance. It's just their time.
I would say it's a little different though, in the sense it is his time. You're right, but I also think that
Will Smith, a great performance.
He gave his career best performance, and now he actually is deserving.
He did.
And it's Will Smith's year. If he doesn't win it, I'm gonna be a little upset. I think he's outperformed every actor, and this is Denzel being my second favorite, and Denzel and Andrew being my second favorites. But
Andrew is my favorite. but also because it's like I love Tick Tick Boom and I wish it could be nominated for everything. But
it's Will Smith.
It's Will Smith.
It's Will Smith.
Yeah,
where you going?
I was just saying, I'm with Samee. I mean, I want Andrew Garfield to win because of Tick Tick Boom, but I think it's gonna be Will Smith.
I want Will Smith
because the performance that he gave in this movie was just When I watched this movie, I watched it. I think it was yesterday. Oh my gosh, man! He just gave the performance.
It's his best performance. Yeah, it is kind of a career move in that way.
Talk about honestly, like I feel like Will Smith, because when I say like they bleed, like I mean like in art and in people's professions and stuff, like that's like what we want when we talk about like things that are phenomenal and great. Like we want to see like someone bleed onto the screen. Like we want to see their literal. Literally want to see your actual blood, sweat, and tears.
It's true.
And the same, like Andrew Garfield did that as well. Will Smith did it for sure. But like Andrew Garfield really, in that, like he became Jonathan Larson. He gave his blood, sweat, and all of his tears.
You're right.
For this man to tell this man's story.
And I was like torn between Andrew and Denzel until I saw King Richard, and now that I saw it, I'm like, it's got to be Will. And like honestly, like
Denzel, that was phenomenal. That was a very well acted movie. He was very good.
Oh my god!
And I'm a big Shakespeare fan too. So
movie was incredible. Yeah, and
I don't know. I don't really like that movie that much.
Yeah, he didn't.
I could see why not. Yeah. Even being like a Shakespeare fan, I'm like, that was a lot. That was some Shakespeare.
It made my honorable mentions. It was good.
Iambic pentameter right there.
I didn't even make my honorable mentions, but I mean, it was alright. Yeah. I mean, I preferred it to Don't Look Up for sure.
So are we all with Will here? Is that where we're going? Yeah. Okay, all three of us. Okay, all right. Samee, what's next?
All right, second to last, penultimate category, directing. So first up, penultimate, we got first Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, and then oh my god, Rizuki Hamaguchi. Is that maybe how you say it for Drive My Car?
Yep.
The writer director for Drive My Car. Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog, and Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. So for me, this is going to Jane Campion. I think all these movies are very well directed, but I think the way particularly The Power of the Dog was directed and the way it was all like the way that story particularly was told was what needed a very strong and powerful director, which they got in Jane Campion, and I think that's going to be awarded. But also, yeah, I think the biggest things of this whole award season, it's really been between Coda and The Power of the Dog. And I really think, though, that like since Coda is not nominated in directing, that I think, I mean, again, spoiler alert for our last one, but I think Power of the Dog is really what's going to take it. And it's very rare for a Best Picture winner happens. Right. It's Best Director is usually always the director of the Best Picture. It's very, very rare for the Best Picture to not also be the Best Director, because like they what this movie just directed itself, like they know on some level, obviously not. Even though like with Dune, that pisses me off because I'm like, they really just feel like Dune just made itself. Dune directed itself. It had great visual effects, cinematography, costumes. It directed itself though. But I think, that's what they're going to. So also spoiler alert, I also think Power of the Dog is going to win Best Picture. Read the nominees to me one more time. Read the nominees to me one more time, please. All right. Kenneth Branagh, Belfast. Drive My Car. Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza. Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog. And Steven Spielberg, West Side Story. Because again, I think, also real quick, I think Belfast was very good. I don't think it's going to be Best Picture, Best Director. I don't think it's that good out of the rest of them. Drive My Car, I think, was a very good movie, and it's going to win Best International Picture. But again, I don't think that a 3-hour Japanese movie with this level of complexity is what all the Oscar voters are going to vote for as number one, or they're all going to rank it high. I don't think that's real. And then Licorice Pizza, I think, is more of a well-written movie and a well-acted movie than it's directing. And then West Side Story, I just think, again, it was phenomenally directed, but we all know Steven Spielberg is great. Not everybody knows how great Jane Campion is. That's my reasoning for that. That's where my brain went.
I'm going to go with Samee. I'm going to say Jane Campion for Power of the Dog.
I think it's hers.
For sure. Jane Campion. That's where I'm at. What are you thinking, Jose?
I was originally with Steven Spielberg for West Side. But now really thinking about, because we know Steven Spielberg and, we know his classics. And although West Side Story was very, very good of a movie, I personally just preferred Licorice Pizza to West Side. So I'll go with John Campea as well.
All right.
Hell yeah. And then we're going to get our third lady, third female best director. So that's going to be fun too. We love to see it. All right.
The last
got our
one.
Final category. The last one. Spoiler you.
The big one. The big one.
I got.
The biggest one.
The last one. All right. What is there? 10? I feel like there's 10. Maybe there's 9.
No, there's more. Wait. What do you? Oh, there's 10.
There's 10.
10. There's 10. Nice.
10.
All right. Yeah. 10 Best Picture nominees. All right. We got Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. And like I said before, it is very rare that the best director did not direct the best picture. So I am going Power of the Dog, though I want it to be Coda. And the only reason I'm saying it's not going to be Coda is because it's not nominated for director. And I don't think it's going to be the one to break out of that rule. I think they're going to give it to Power of the Dog.
Go ahead, Jose.
But I'm happy with that.
What?
Good movie.
Who do you think's winning Best Picture? Go ahead.
Ooh, tough one, man. I just want to see it. Do you know? Because it's a tough one.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, you go first. Yeah.
Look, here's the thing, and this is one of the hardest categories ever, and it should be easy. I should just say Power of the Dog because I think Jane Campion is going to win Best Director, and I should just easily be able to say that. But we say this; it's a rare thing that the Best Picture is not the Best Director winner, and I think this is one of those years because of how tight the category is. And I'm gonna be real. Okay, so Coda is got a shot. It's got a big shot because
that's who I want to win. That's who I would vote for personally. I would vote for Coda.
See,
because I also think it's going to be a great moment. Like I also think supporting actor and actress are usually one of the first couple of awards, and I think like Tony Kutzer's speech is going to be phenomenal and going to really help set a tone. But I think also ending with Coda winning would be a very, I don't want to say political, but in the terms of the Oscars, it would be a very good political moment.
Coda's got a major shot, and I think that but on the other hand, when I look at Coda, and you were saying earlier, think like the Academy, this is not the type of movie the Academy would usually pick, and like because there's so much, it's almost too accessible for them, you would think, right? Like there's something to that, so
it's almost too heartwarming, too like
Oscar's the Grouch, right? And they're not gonna look at that. And look, the other part of this,
it doesn't have as much grit as I feel like. Power of the Dog not obviously doesn't have as much grit as Power of the Dog, but I feel like there's just not enough in Coda for every Oscar voter to be like, that was the best movie I've seen this year.
Right. And the other part of this, though, here's the thing. The other part of this, and I think we lost Samee. Are you gone, Samee? I think we did. Let's wait for her.
Yeah, we lost Samee.
Oh, right. I can hear you.
Okay, great. She's back.
All
right, sorry about that.
Okay.
So I think
I got your internet connection is unstable.
Oh, great. All right. Well, you're back. So anyway, so the other part of it that I think about is the fact that Spielberg did get nominated for Best Director. So I think that we're going to see one of two scenarios. I think the safest bet would be to go with one of two scenarios anyway. Spielberg wins the director and the Best Picture for West Side, or Jane Campion wins Best Director or Best Picture for Power of the Dog. But I still have the feeling, I think that this is a year where we're going to see the mismatch between the two. And one thing keeps coming to mind. I keep thinking about this over and over again. I've heard this all throughout the award season. Why didn't Denis Villeneuve get nominated? And here's the thing. Yeah. I think that a lot of people in the Academy probably feel the same way. We have to remember that in the directors category, this is being voted on by directors, and for some reason I think directors are looking not for a major spectacle, but for something a little bit more grounded and a little bit more personal. And so I think Dune is going to win this year. I think it's absolutely taking the award. I think that when you look at something that
if it wins Best Screenplay, it honestly might, like, even though it's not even nominated in director, I really feel like, because that would be big if it won out of all of those adapted versus over Power of the Dog and Coda. That would be the first indication that it could.
I've been against it this whole award season. I didn't think it would go, but now the more I think about it, and the more I think about the statement of why didn't, and think about the feeling we all had when we walked out of something like Dune. It was amazing. Like I
literally didn't know if I was gonna like it. Watched it on HBO Max first and loved it so much that I went to the theater. That is rare for me.
I mean, I took the 100% risk because in my head I knew that I was gonna like the movie.
I'm poor. I can't take these risks
because I heard sci-fi. I was like, okay, I'm in 100%. I went to the theaters and I saw it in IMAX. I spent the extra money for IMAX. I saw it. Absolutely loved the hell out of it. It was amazing. I went home and watched it like 2-3 times again on IMAX or on HBO Max, and it was great. I mean, this movie, I agree with you, Dom. Honestly, I do think that Dune, I mean, that was my original, when we first did this list, I had Dune and then scratched out and put West Side Story. Now I want to go back and say Dune, because when I really sit back and think about it, compared to all these other movies that are nominated for Best Picture, when you really look at the cinematography and everything that has been put in for this movie, no other movie compares. Like, Dune has gone above and beyond in terms of the cinematography and the VFX and everything else has been put in. I mean, just look at how many nominations it's been nominated for. When you really think about it, this movie has put so much into it that no other movie really just compares. And also just the personal aspect of it too.
I think it's the type of movie that, it pushes film forward. But now you go back and look at like the Avatar year where they voted Hurt Locker, and a lot of people thought maybe they would vote Avatar because of how much it achieved in film, and they went with Hurt Locker.
And again, that was a big director thing too. We were like, will James Cameron get the director even though the Hurt Locker might win Best Picture?
But I think the only reason, and I hate to say this, I think the only reason Hurt Locker won, while it's a brilliant movie, I'm not trying to deny it, I think the reason it won was because of that divorce situation. Oh wow, it's amazing. Because of the divorce situation. And I think that's the reason.
It's been recommended to me a bunch because I usually don't really like war movies that much. I tend to steer clear, but I've been told that this one.
I haven't seen it either.
Hurt Locker's great. But no. Anyway, my point was that whole divorce thing was going on with James Cameron and Catherine Bigelow.
Politics matter.
The politics
matter. They're voted on by people, and people read
that's
variety
right. And
I watch the news and
I think that's what screwed Avatar that year, and I don't think the same thing is going to happen to Dune. And I think a lot of the big thing here is we have to remember that every year the Academy happens, we have more and more variety, more and more going on. Dune's got an amazing cast. We all look at it and say, what an amazing cast, how great were they? And then the Academy looks at it and says, how great were our buddies in that movie? Because they are all like Academy darlings, right? Like people love these people. And I think that there's something to that. I think Dune is taking it this year. I think that they're going to look at the achievement in film. I think it's the movie that's going to appeal to most of the Academy members. I think that they're going to look at all of that and they're going to say, yeah, Dune. And
I 100% agree.
I had this feeling.
You're not crazy for feeling that way. Like that's I still think it's going to be Power of the Dog, but like
it's a safe bet. That and West Side Story are the two safest bets in my opinion right now.
Yeah,
Coda being like a third, but like safe.
Again, Coda, just because it's not nominated for director, that's literally, if it was nominated for director, I'd probably say that it might win both.
Yeah, and if Coda,
I mean, you can say the same thing. You can say the same thing with Dune. If Denis Villeneuve was
honestly
nominated as best director, you would say, Dune 100% would win Best Picture as well.
Literally, if Denis would have been nominated for best director, there is a strong possibility that Dune wins Best Picture. Stronger
than with any of the other directors in their movies.
Stronger than like Belfast, Don't Look Up, Nightmare Alley. You know what I mean?
Stronger than any of those other movies with their directors, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and I also think that there's we got to look at the fact too that there were a lot of people out there that thought Spider-Man might get nominated this year too for Best Picture. It was actually a prediction.
See, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that, but I mean,
but there were a lot of people that did.
Aren't they doing like an audience award
Yeah,
this year. I saw that was a thing. I think Spider-Man though is nominated because
it is for that, and it will win that. It will win that category, that little audience award thing.
Do you think Spider-Man's gonna win?
Oh, that category? Yeah,
it was a wild bunch of movies. Like Cinderella was in it, like Camila Cabello's Cinderella, and like Tick Tick Boom.
It's gonna be Spider-Man in that case. Yeah. 100%. But that Spider-Man will take that. But and I think that, you know, the Academy, I think they wanted to put in a blockbuster for a good reason too. I think that's the other reason I'm looking at Dune is like, not only is it a blockbuster, but it achieves just so much, like in terms of just filmmaking and everything else. And I think a lot of the Academy voters are asking themselves that too. Like, why didn't Denis get nominated in the director's category? I think there's something to that. Yeah.
Because honestly, not since, I mean, Lord of the Rings for sure, but like, that might have been the last time actually.
Well, Peter Jackson got nominated too, right? Didn't he? Yeah. But he didn't win it. I want to
say probably.
He got nominated, but he didn't win. Yeah. When Return of the King won or something like that. Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But honestly, not since Star Wars, really. That's what I was going to say. Has there been like this huge blockbuster movie that also like critics and Academy people were like, no, that advanced cinema, that was brilliant. That was not just popcorn. That was popcorn that's going to change everything, you know? And Dune did that. Dune had the same effect where we had never seen something like this before. This is going to advance the medium. Yeah. And it did it phenomenally.
Yeah. That's why it
has that same effect. Yeah.
I hate to say, I mean, like, I don't hate to say it's my favorite of all these, you know, but like, I think it's the winner too. I really do. I think that it takes the award.
I mean, yes, it was my number 1 movie of 2021. So
it was in my top 5. I think it was like 4.
I think it'll win for sure.
I think it's.
But I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That would be cool.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank everybody here today. We do have to wrap this up, but thank you so much for joining us for this show here. And let us know who you think is going to win. We're going to be, I'll try to moderate this while it's going on and everything, and the chat, and we'll try to, we'll see what everybody else thinks too. But thank you guys so much for joining. Samee, I want to thank you so much for coming in, reading the nominations like a pro. It was awesome. And this is,
except for Syrian Hines. That just goes to show, like, in my brain, I was honestly more impressed with the little boy than the grandfather. I think that's what it was. Like,
I think everyone,
it was almost a Freudian slip where that's who I wanted. That's who I would actually nominate from Belfast in that category.
I think it was also because you did see more of him in the movie compared to the grandpa. On top of the fact
he was on my mind more. Yeah,
it was also one of the best performances that I've seen from a kid in a very long time.
Oh no, for sure, he was great.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest reason why you probably would have nominated it. But then again, that begs the question of, is the kid a supporting role, or is he the leading role? That's the question.
Yeah.
So that's where that's where you kind of
answer that.
That's where you kind of get that quarrel of, like, is he the leading role or is he the supporting role? So
absolutely. Anyway, we gotta go. So so Samee, thank you. Yes. Where can people find you before we take off here?
I'm on Twitter at Samee Ramirez and Instagram at Samee Ramirez 14. That's the things. Yeah.
All right, sweet.
This was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. You can find me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_official, on Instagram, Dom_Martino_official. Actually, take the official out of the Twitter. I always screw this up. It's amazing. I love it. Jose, where can people find you before we go?
You can find me on all socials at Type1Latino, all lowercase, all underscore, and on stereo.
All right, and thank you so much for being here, man. Please follow the Anorex pages on Twitter at Anorex Official, on Instagram, Anorex Official. If you guys want, this is going to be on Spotify probably tomorrow, so check out Spotify if you want to hear the audio only version.
You're in the future, you know who won.
I know, right?
We look like fools. We look like damn fools trying to argue over awards that were already handed out.
Oh yeah. So yeah, check us out there, and guys, thank you for joining, and again, let us know what you think, who is going to win, and all that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications, do all that, and do that especially if you're on the Spotify already listening. Go over to YouTube, youtube.com/c/Anorex. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much. This has been a fun Oscars pre-show. Can't wait. See you guys later.
See ya.